Hello there. How are we all doing? Let's see if this has woken up yet. Hello, someone said hello, good. I turned latency down hoping that I'd get faster responses in the chat because there tends to be a delay of like 15, 20 seconds or something. Ah, good, my phone's caught up. Now, actually, how loud is that going to be? So, slow week in Formula One, eh? Yeah, there's a lot to... Things are really in motion now. There's a lot to mull over. We thought... Well, we had what we thought was going to be the big news about Andretti, and then in comes Lewis to Ferrari. I don't think anyone was expecting that. I mean, I suppose he's hinted at it in the past, for wanting to drive for Ferrari, but then I think everyone wants to drive for Ferrari, even when they're in the state they're currently in. But that, yeah, it just seems at this point you can't trust contracts anymore because we're going through this sort of phase of everyone just breaking their contracts instead of seeing them out to the end. And my first assumption was, okay, he'll do his 2 more years with Mercedes and then probably retire at the end of 26 or the end of 25 even. But it seems like that's not the case if he's got a 2+1. So he could stay as late as the end of 2027, which would be, 21 years in Formula One. That's... We'll have to see. By then, he'll be, 27? He'll be 42 years old, nearly 43 when he retires, over 400 races. Yeah. Quite a story. Ace Scruthy, thank you for the £1. Thank you very much. Okay, so getting on to this. This seems to be a popular thing to do on weekends now, the street circuits, so we can keep this going at least until these annoying things called races start happening on weekends. So before we get started properly, one thing I'll just show off quickly, because at the end of the last stream, I was just going through every circuit I've got marked. And again, I've done my usual thing. I've got Google. It's got everything motorsport related turned on, all the circuits and, locations. I mean, I haven't changed the logo for Stake yet because I don't know what their logo is. One thing quickly, there's 2 things actually. I put in all the circuits from Gran Turismo that are fictional circuits in real locations. So let's just, I'll just show those quickly. So the first one, this is the Madrid circuit in GTA 5 and GTA 6, which I'm sure some of you remember. I remember there being a really annoying drifting challenge in like the Mines skyline through there that drove me nuts. What was your first race that you watched? Interesting. First race that I watched. I didn't watch F1 properly till 07, 08. From that year, the first one that I remember watching was Indianapolis 07. But I missed the first section. I know there's a little chicane, but doesn't it go... I thought I had it pretty much correct. Indianapolis 07, I remember watching that. Before that, I watched a few as a kid. I think I watched Germany 2003, because I remember that one, because that was in the middle of the heat wave, and Schumacher was not leading, which was what surprised me. There's a right kink, then a hairpin. Oh, okay, so I've done that wrong, but it's just the streets are different. Okay, so moving on Madrid. I'll say Germany 2003 is the first one I actively remember watching, I think. Then we got the Rome circuit from GTA 5 and 6, going all the way around all the Roman stuff. And then that one actually adjoins onto the Rome circuit from Gran Turismo 2 and 3, and possibly 1. I've never played the first Gran Turismo. I've used the short track hairpin. Oh, okay. Oh, well, never mind. Then going north, there's Città d'Aria from GT4. I absolutely loved this one. It was one of the rally stage ones. That was I really, really loved that one. I didn't know this was a real place, because the Costa d'Amalfi one is fictional, because that's just on some imaginary island. Then George V Paris, or Paris. which actually uses part of one of the circuits that we did in the last race. What was it, Surrender Speedway? We put this one that goes underneath the Eiffel Tower. So yeah, we've seen this one a couple of times. Yeah, one of the really annoying rally tracks. Is it drivable in real life? I'm pretty certain it is, Città d'Aria. It's just very, very narrow. So I think you can do it in real life. Then I got... oh, no, sorry. Misclick. Hong Kong. Quite like this one. Again, I didn't think this was real. So I didn't... Yeah, but this one, this wasn't a bad circuit in the game. It's just over the harbour from this, because this week I did start putting in Formula E circuits. I went back to 2014. I just gave up eventually because they're so fucking boring, Formula E tracks, but that's the Hong Kong one that I don't think it's still used. Why was Hong Kong only in GT4? Yeah, maybe they just didn't want to bring it back for 5. I mean, there are some that they should bring back that they just don't, and yeah. The London circuit in 5 and 6, this is rubbish. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of this one, which again, it joins onto Brexit Speedway that we did 3 weeks ago in the very first. This is the very first circuit we did, going down the Mall and past Buckingham Palace and all of that. Yeah, it's not brilliant, the one that Gran Turismo did. Do you think if Peter Revson didn't have his crash in 74, he would have had a chance of becoming a world champion? Maybe. He's not one I know much about, beyond his death, I suppose, but I guess there's nothing to stop it happening. He was driving for wasn't it Ensign he was driving for? Or maybe I'm just pulling that out my arse. Can't remember. Then the New York Street Circuit from Gran Turismo 4. Again, really good circuit. And again, it lines up with my one, Empire Street Circuit of Mind, I think we called this one. Has quite a similar sort of... Because I guess they both make use of Broadway. But again, they link together at Times Square. McLaren. Oh, yes, it was McLaren with Denny Holm. Yeah. That's the one. Did you do the Caribbean Grand Prix track that Josh Revel talked about? I've got Bushy Park in Barbados. That's the only one I know of in the Caribbean, but maybe that's the one Josh was talking about. I don't know. Curacao. Oh, I didn't know there was one in Curacao, or they might make one, but yeah. So then we got Opera Paris. Again, we've seen this one before in my previous streams. All anyone can remember with this is doing that Peugeot 205 or the Peugeot 206 Cup, where you have to drive a normal 206 against a bunch of souped-up turbo 206s. You have to spend loads of money souping yours up to then just win a 206 or a Citroën. I can't even remember what you win. It's not something very good. Which goes past, Hotel de Crillon, which is where the FIA headquarters is, and Place de la Bastille, I think, or Place de la Concorde, Place de la Concorde, which I think is where like Marie Antoinette and all of that lot were beheaded in the French Revolution, so that's fun. We still Rome circuit before. Seattle Street Circuit. Do you use polygons in Google Earth? No, I do. I use just the paths. I don't do polygons because paths you can follow them around afterwards. This one is kind of tricky because a lot of the roads that appear in the game don't exist anymore, like around here. And from above, you can see this section's pretty much correct, but the rest of it looks nothing like it does in real life. So this one is kind of a rough guess, but it's not brilliant. Then we have Seoul Central, which it just so happens to line up with the one we made last week. Wasn't this one called... Didn't I call this one the Psy Circuit sponsored by BTS or something? So they loop together at this temple at the bottom. Although I think it looks a little bit different in the game, so that's a bit more bulbous than it is in the game. And then Tokyo Route 246, which is basically spot on and would be an absolutely killer circuit. And again, is almost exactly the same as Las Vegas. Talking about Gran Turismo, have you ever tried to play the flute solo in Light Velocity from GT4 with the bassoon? I recently learned it on piano. I don't know any of the tracks by name. I would need to... I remember all the menu music. I would need to listen to that and then remind myself which one it is, and I could probably learn it on bassoon, I imagine. Yeah, and this again, right next to first episode, we did the Sato Speedway, which goes all the way around the Imperial Palace, and I think is actually a really cool circuit. This is something, this is something that Formula E would just eat up, like going all the way around the moat and everything. They would love that. It's from the menu. Yeah, I'm trying to run some of the menu music through my head and see if there's one that had a lot of flute in it. Okay, so I showed you that, and then also in the week, I've been sent some tracks. Some fan submissions of tracks, which we can have a look at and sort of critique. So this is obviously my folder, which has got everything we've done over the past 2 weeks. So there's one here. Forgive me, I can't remember who sent it to me. If you're in the chat, just, wave and say hi. A Grand Prix circuit in Sunderland in the northeast of England. So this got sent in. It's about 10 miles long. So way too long for F1, but it does quite a lot. Crosses the river. I mean, it feels more like a TT circuit. That was Ace Scrithy. Oh, thank you. So yeah, it looks more like a sort of TT rally stage course because it's basically too long for Formula One, but it's, we got a lot of A roads, crosses the river a couple of times. Nice, extremely sharp hairpin there. So yeah, it's not bad. It's just too long. It would need to be scaled down for Formula One. It's way too big. So that's that. And then there's a folder that Bois sent me quite a lot of his own designs. So we're going to go through each of those individually. So first one, we have the Alonso Autodrome, which is in Madrid, actually, just over the road from the incorrectly drawn Madrid circuit from Gran Turismo. We've ended up with, okay, I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but it looks like we've got a sort of double figure of 8 crossing over itself. So that's, yeah, that would obviously need to be changed on safety grounds. If we assume that it's meant to go that way around and then you loop and then that goes down, it's not bad. Makes use of the roundabouts, and it's a few small kind of, it's not just straight lines. There's a couple of twiddly bits as well. So that one's interesting. Then we've got Chai City circuit. So this is in Chicago. So this is just above the really awful circuit that I designed last week, which, yeah, probably needs improving. This one is much better, I think. It doesn't, because it's a polygon, it doesn't show up quite so well, but you can see it goes around the roundabouts here, across the river, up, and then that's reasonably decent, actually. I mean, I don't know how long it is. It's probably similar length to mine, but that has potential. Maybe not for Formula One, but IndyCar could do something like that. I think that I only know this from Perspective's thumbnail. I think that Chicago circuit they're talking about building is actually going to be done here. And it's going to go like down there, because I think that's the Field Museum of Natural History. So it's going to go past that and down and around. That seems to be the proposal. So what we've got is, guess what? It's another street circuit going around a marina. At least this marina's real, though. Then next up is Couscous circuit in Morocco, I think. Rabat. Okay, so this is in Morocco. So here, that is the Ain Diab circuit, which hosted the Moroccan Grand Prix in 1958, Casablanca, so just up the coast in Rabat. We've got Couscous circuit, which, yeah, it looks fairly 1950s-ish, I guess. You could fit a paddock in there. That could be a short start-finish straight. Got a couple of loops. This is an interesting section. That's extremely Formula E. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I could see them. That could have been. Although it does kind of look like a deflated condom a bit. It could be. This could have been an alternate Moroccan Grand Prix venue in the 50s. What was your reaction to Lewis to going to Ferrari? Well, the thing is, we got so much of a spoiler because in the day before, wasn't it? Will Buxton suddenly was like, oh, I've just heard some news, and if it's real, this is huge. And so we thought, okay, is it a retire? My first thought was maybe Lewis was announcing he's going to retire at the end of the year, because early on in the week, he'd apparently said he was considering a sabbatical, which obviously was bollocks, because he must have, I don't know how recently this Ferrari deal was, but more than 3 days ago it must have been sorted. Yeah, but we spent all day building up to this, and everyone, it was like, oh, sources say, oh, they're signing this and this, and it's like, how do we know this? Like, usually something like this, you'd think the teams would keep it secret until the announcement, but now we have this thing where everyone knows the announcement before the announcement's happening, and it's like, okay, who in Ferrari has told the press about this and has leaked this to everyone? Because you'd think that they would want to keep this under wraps, particularly if it's something that happened very recently. So it was like when it did come, it wasn't too much of a shock, because it was like, well, we spent the past 6-7 hours of every journalist basically saying, oh, Lewis is going to Ferrari, source, trust me, bro. And if it had just dropped at 7 and no one suspects anything, it would have just, like, I don't know. Well, I don't know what they would have, however would have taken that. I don't think many people would have really believed it. But we'll have to see. I mean, it's maybe he knows something we don't. I mean, people joke, because earlier in the week he was doing sim work for Mercedes, and maybe he did that. I was like, yeah, this ain't it. My only assumption is that the current Mercedes, this year's Mercedes, is no better than the last one, and also he's not exactly going to get preferential treatment anymore now that he's leaving. So it could be quite a difficult year for him up ahead, but then we'll have to see what Ferrari do in 25 and going into 26. Okay. So next up is the Dakar driveway. So this will be Dakar in Senegal. It looks like a fish, almost like a pig, almost. It's got something, some piggy fish thingy going on. Yeah, not bad. Fairly typical design. Obviously, Dakar is not somewhere that's going to be hosting a Grand Prix anytime soon, but I mean, these days you never know. I guess obviously Dakar is the terminus of the Paris-Dakar rally. I don't know if I know nothing about that. The Paris-Dakar, I don't know if it actually goes into the city, or at least this far in, because we're right at the very bottom end of what is quite a large city, actually. Goodness. 13 miles up, and look at this, and you can see how densely packed in all the buildings are. Yeah. Again, it's got more of a Formula E vibe, but yeah. Do you think it was planned out for a while, Hamilton to Ferrari? It sounds like only within the past few weeks this became a thing, because I think then they said that Carlos Sainz 3 weeks ago went into negotiations that stopped, so maybe by then. So it's probably happened after Christmas. He's suddenly started thinking this. Anyway, so then we have the Dakar ring. Dakar, however. So this is Bangladesh. Okay, so again, I like the design. Okay, not so good for Formula One because there's a near total absence of overtaking zones. But again, you could see this this looks like a Formula E track. But I think the setting, because it seems to have been built in the slums, you really wouldn't get a race happening there. But yeah, I don't mind going around the waterfront. You could see this in any Need for Speed game, for example, would have something like that. Then we've got the Greg's Speedway, which I guess is as a complement to the Alan Shearer Speedway, sponsored by Greg's, that we made in the first episode. So, again, this one's in Newcastle. I'm not so a fan of. It's a weird shape. Not such a fan of that one. It doesn't look very long either. Probably less than 2 miles long. But it goes past that stadium, which I'm assuming is Newcastle United's home ground. But I'm not exactly a football expert. Yeah. Oh my god, you have a face. I guess, this must be your first stream, or you've never seen the bassoon video. I do have a face. Yeah, I'm not Slender Man. Yeah. Even if it's hidden behind this microphone. Then we've got the... Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedow circuit. Okay, I don't know if those are real words or if that's just gibberish. Okay, this is a condom. This is somewhere. Where is this? Ashgabat. Oh, okay, we're in Turkmenistan. Central Asia is an interesting place. It has quite a significant position in world history in like the medieval period with like Genghis Khan and what's that other one called? Timur, that other leader, and stuff. But yeah, that's a person. The name. Okay, so Gurbanguly Bermihuedim. I don't know who that is. If that's some kind of dictator or some revolutionary that saved the country from a dictator. Yeah, Central Asia. I mean, these are obviously, I know that the Eurasian steppe, quite arid environments, but then they've got very cold mountains. And, I think one of them, Uzbekistan or Turkmenistan, has some really, really nasty guy running the place. Former Soviet countries, Aral Sea, all of that, yeah. He used to be a dictator. Oh, an ex-dictator. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, and again, this is another classic Formula E design. You just hairpins, long straights, and yeah, condom shaped, going right around some giant statue, probably of a dictator, and all past all of this. Yeah, a couple of mosques or temples looks like they're big. Yeah. Then we've got the Kenya Coffee Way, and I'm guessing this is Nairobi if I zoom out. Yeah, we're in Nairobi, so Canada African Grand Prix outside of South Africa. This is an all right design actually. So you got your classic city bit with the right angles and around the buildings, and then you've got this is more of a slightly more rural bit. I'm guessing that goes uphill if I look at the elevation. It does a little bit, yeah. Yeah, this is actually quite nice. City Square, so right around the very centre of Nairobi. Nice big-ass train yard. Oh, there's a golf course. And the tennis courts are marked, but the tennis courts look more like a car park to me. Yeah, this is not bad, actually. I mean, I don't know how upmarket that area is. It's the very centre of Nairobi, so it shouldn't be too bad. I have a question. Why do so many tracks have panhandles? These ones are. These ones are not designed by me, but I guess that's part of Bois' design style or preference to put panhandles in. Modern circuits, I mean, I guess some of them have panhandles. It's just a way of not getting stuck in just making a square, I guess, and it's a good excuse for a decent hairpin. Then we have Kim Jong-un's Motorland, and this seems to overlap very heavily with the Dictator drone that we made, which is this one. So this links up with that. Well, it's a more realistic size because mine was way too long for Formula One. Not that we're ever going to do a race in Pyongyang, although I definitely think that Domenicali would if he could, and pretend that by hosting a race, it's going to make Rocket Man have a change of heart and become a nice person, which seems to be their idea with Saudi Arabia as well, but I don't think that's going to happen. And then we've got MAGA Motordrome 1, and this is somewhere in Florida. Oh, okay, we're in the Florida Keys. So, okay, yeah, MAGA. I mean, we're nowhere near Mar-a-Lago's somewhere up there, so nowhere near Trump's house, but right at the edge of the Florida Keys. Yeah. Ooh, goodness. Another very, very tight hairpin going on there. Ooh, I like that, the bridge. Okay, this could legitimately be a Formula E circuit. I think you could make one from that. That's not bad, yeah. And then we've got MAGA Motordrome number 2. This is a lot bigger. And this, well, it's basically just the perimeter road of this tiny little airport. Going through the swamp areas a bit more. This is more suitable for Formula 1 size, but that's a heckin' long straight. How long is that straight? 1.9 miles. Okay, yeah, this is quite large. Yeah, IndyCar could give this a crack. Stingray Rob asks, do you think Monza will still be on the calendar in 30 years? Well, I desperately hope so. Again, it needs permanent status, basically. And it's a circuit which has been it's relatively few changes. If you think, okay, they put in 3 chicanes and they got rid of the looped bit, but otherwise it's basically the same circuit. It hasn't changed nearly as much as somewhere like Silverstone. And then we have the Maldonado Motor Zone in Caracas. I guess that would be, yeah. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, not the most inventive. I mean, again, Venezuela is not hosting a race anytime soon. Yeah, that one is just a bit of a parallelogram or rectangle, whatever. Then we have the Mickey Mouse Way. Okay, this is obviously a joke one. It's going around Disney World or Disneyland. Disney World, Orlando. Disneyland is Paris, isn't it? Yeah. They could probably do this themselves, like, you know, like go-karts or something small. But yeah, this is just... I guess that's Disneyland. I've never paid much attention to that on Google Earth. Disneylando. Nice. Muscat Motorland. So Muscat, Oman. Again, Oman, don't rule it out. Obviously, it neighbours the UAE, and since they're determined to have a Grand Prix in every Middle Eastern country, it wouldn't surprise me if we get one there someday. Yemen, obviously no time soon, but Oman, maybe they could do that. And yeah, this is all right. It's quite similar to the Ain Diab one. This is, yeah, this is a very 1950s design. How far is it actually in the city? Okay, so it's more on the outskirts of the city, but yeah. And I mean, okay, fairly distant from UAE and that, but yeah, not bad. Then we have the Niagara Falls Swimway. Oh, this is cool. I mean, completely unrealistic, but I love the use of the bridge. And I guess this would actually be Formula One's first international Grand Prix because it crosses the border between the US and Canada. That's a really cool design, actually. Is this a figure of 8 again? No, it just comes off. Okay, well, okay. I say that, and then we get this. Obviously, that's the border checks where they try to see if you're smuggling drugs or, you know, endangered animals in or something. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I love the concept, but in practice, this would never be done, unfortunately. But it looks really cool. Then we've got the Revel Raceway. So this is Wellington, New Zealand, as opposed to my circuit, the One Ring, which I did in, what's it called? Auckland. Hey, Peter Brook from Captain Crunch 03. Hello, welcome to the stream. Just showing off some fan designs and then we'll get going properly. Yeah, this is... yeah, it's okay. Very tight hairpin up there. Again, another roundabout. So, yeah. It's all right. But yeah, Wellington is a bit less exotic than Auckland. Not that you could really describe New Zealand as exotic, I don't think. I have no idea where in New Zealand Josh is from, if he's actually from Wellington or whatever, but yeah. The Riviera Raceway. Okay, so we're on a Riviera. Where are we? Torquay. Oh, the Cornish Riviera. I thought it was going to be somewhere nice like Italy, not bloody Paynton. Yeah, this is the kind of track you would have had in like the 1930s that they would have raced motorbikes on, just going around Torquay. Yeah. Not quite a small one. What countries have you been to? What countries have I been to? I'm not the most well-travelled person. I've been to France, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Germany, Italy and the Vatican. So never outside Western Europe. And yeah, I've been wanting to go to, you know, the United States, Australia my entire life, but haven't been to them. Yeah, I'm not as well-travelled as I would like, regrettably, and haven't been to any international Grand Prix. My first point of call would be Spa. But yeah, I do need to travel more. So then we've got the Taliban track. Taliban, so I guess we're in Afghanistan. Kabul, yep, thought so. Again, never going to happen. Not that they're not without trying from Domenicali. What? Oh God, is that traffic? Oh, that is horrendous. Look at that. It can't. Okay, I think those are like market stands. Surely it's not that bad. Oh goodness me. Yeah, the design's okay, but it's just the location is completely unsuitable for Formula One to go to. Where do you think Carlos is going in 2025? Okay, well we've seen hints that Bottas is going because a few days ago he was in Brackley for just because of reasons. I mean, and now everyone's thinking, well, maybe he's replacing Lewis. Why they would bring Bottas back, I don't know, unless they just want someone who's not going to challenge George. But at the same time, if he does that, that obviously leaves a spot at Audi/Sauber/Kick/Stake for Carlos. So maybe that's what's going to happen. My first thought is they would just get rid of Bottas and Joe and they just go off and do something else because they shouldn't be in Formula One anymore. And then they put him in, and then obviously they've got Porcher as a Sauber Junior. Zane Maloney just became one of their options. I don't know. How do you design F1 tracks on Google Earth? Well, a couple of minutes. I shall show you when we shall start doing the first one. So that's the Taliban track. Then we've got the circuit of the Chavs. I think we're in London. No, we're not in London. We are in Rochester or Chatham. Chatham's all right. I mean, I've only been to Chatham once to see the ships. They've got. Is it over here? There's a submarine and a destroyer which they've got in dry dock that you can go and look around. I think in Chatham. I've gone to. I'm sure they have them. Yeah, that's the only time I've been to Chatham. Again, yeah, not much going on here, but yeah. And then the last one is the Tinseldrome. We're in LA. We're in the Hollywood Heights. I like the figure of 8, although you can't get off the. Oh, that is a slipway. Okay. But yeah. If you could take 3 tracks to grade A for F1, what would it be? So grade 1. Bathurst is grade 3. That needs to be grade 1. Oh my goodness. Is Brands Hatch? No, I don't think Brands Hatch is grade 1 anymore. So maybe that could be, because we've done F1 there before in the 80s, that could be an option. It would never happen, but the Nordschleife is not. Nordschleife not grade 1. The thing with this is that I think it's to do with the size of the pit lane and also how good the safety features are. So you can't. So it's not so much the design. The thing with Bathurst, it's got a very small pit lane, very small paddock. The circuit is absolutely amazing, but maybe that's the reason. The Nordschleife, you would need, it would be a logistical nightmare. It would mess qualifying up to no end. And you would need, the circuit is very narrow, very bumpy, lots of Armco barriers. They would start ruining it, but by putting in concrete runoff and replacing the Armco barriers with Tech Pro and just all of that stuff, it would just kill the circuit. And it would just be it wouldn't work. Just it's too big, unfortunately. You look so young. Expected you to be 60 to 70. Okay. I'm 31. I'm not quite that old yet. I guess I do. I didn't think I sounded old. I mean, you would think my rather primitive editing skills were still beyond that of the average boomer, but yeah. Okay. So yeah, got this figure of 8, kind of cool one. I suppose very convenient for Lewis because his house is, right nearby. I'm not a stalker. You can quite easily find that if you go looking because, all the celebrities, everyone knows where their houses are in Hollywood. Okay, that's all of those. So let's get started on making an actual circuit. So so as before, I will choose the first city and then I'll start taking requests from everyone. So I think we'll start with a country we haven't done yet. And my first thought, maybe Amsterdam could be a fun one. Trying to negotiate all of the canals could be quite interesting. So let's see what I could do. I have been to Amsterdam for a weekend once, and it was fun enough. After about 3 days, I'd basically run out of stuff to look at, but, it was still nice enough. And, obviously it's got these, like, concentric rings of canals going around the centre that all seem to descend upon the red light district, which is what De Wallen is. So for people who ask me how I do this, well, you're about to see. So yeah, new path. I'm just changing the color and the width, and then you start clicking. I realized because someone mentioned it, the actual limit for the length limit for Formula One circuits is 7 kilometers. So I use the kilometers for a reference, even though I don't use, I use metric, or I can use any unit of measurement. I don't even know what's imperial and metric, but yeah. Goodness me. Where are we going with this? There isn't really anywhere that you could fit a pit lane in that isn't water. I guess that's... Okay, those are tram lines, so you can't do that. That's the palace. You could just about blag your way into making something that would fit down there, I guess. Or here. Actually, here's a bit more open. Okay, let's start here. Is this on PC? Yes, it's Google Earth. It's you can just download it for free. So we'll start that way. Let's see where we can go. So nice wide road here. Let's take a left, go right past the palace. Up these tram lines. Okay, they would have to do something about those. I don't know, fill those all in with concrete, or something, because otherwise people's tires are going to get torn to shreds. We're going to go this way, because again the rules are we need to try and hit the historic locations. So I'm trying to think where the Anne Frank house is, because that's around. It's on the Prinsengracht canal. I think it's just there, actually. Yeah, it is, yeah. So we'll go along. This is a fairly wide road we've got in the end. Let's go right here. Let's take a left. Right along past the Anne Frank house. That's extremely narrow. How far out have I gone? I need to get back around here relatively. Well, actually, only 1.4 kilometers. Okay. Let's go down a little bit further. Let's take a right here. Better go to Nord or Shout, Sloterdijk or Amstelveen. Those are all on the outskirts, aren't they? The city. Well, the Nord is the state. That's just Amsterdam Central. Keep going across. So we're cutting right back across these. Ooh, I know. Yeah, we'll go. So I need to get back. I want to get back onto this road / tramway. So take a left here. It does alarm me a bit. I mean, people like British tourists, they fall into the canals all the time because there's nothing. There's a couple of little bollards, but I guess you have to be very careful parking your car like that because you can't just fall in. I mean, the canals are not very... They're only about 3 feet deep, but still, you wouldn't want to fall in there. And then let's go sharp. God, these roads are so narrow. Let's go along and down. And then again, it's going to go past itself here. Back around the palace. I don't think it all the way down there. Across. Trees be damned. Actually, the trees are going to be in the way, so put those through here. Off we go into the red light district. And then I guess we just go down. This one's a little bit wider. Go over the bridge. Down here. Across. That looks like a little pontoon. You know, the lifting bridge almost. There's some very large boats that you get on the canals, actually. There. And then around 4.2 kilometers. How much is that in miles? 2.5 miles. Oh, that's not too bad for length. It kind of looks like 2 circuits that have like formed together. But that's not. Yeah, that's something. Okay. Now we need a name. So what are we thinking? A Dutch name, something to do with, you know, Circuit de Clog, Windmill Waterway, Expensive Prostitute Park, the Marijuana Motordrome, Supermax Raceway, of course, Supermax, yeah. The Orange Ring, Track to Tulips, Red Light Circuit, Circuit de Bries, Stroopwafel, the Orange RB Fan Club Circuit, never going to happen in mid-Amsterdam Circuit, Dawn Boss's Toy, the Kiru Circuit, yeah. Circuit de Bile Bicycle Speedway. I think, yeah, the Supermax Speedway might be a good one, even though, I mean, his connections to Amsterdam itself are a bit tenuous because he was born in Belgium and that, but yeah. Supermax Speedway. Let's see how it looks when I play it back. Just let everything load up a little bit. What a pretty place. So right past the palace. I think that's the Ouderkerk. Then the Anne Frank house is just there. Long across the canals. Back down. And back around past the palace. And yeah. Yeah, very, very pretty setting. For that one. Okay, so we got the ball rolling there. Okay, time to start taking some requests. Where are people thinking next? Hamilton, Ontario. I wonder what we'd name it. Sydney. Have we done Sydney? I think maybe we've done Sydney. I want to try country we haven't done yet. We've done Dublin. We've done New York. We haven't done Singapore, even though there's already a circuit. Can you recreate my circuit in Kazakhstan? I don't know if maybe you sent that to me. I don't remember it off the top of my hand if I've seen it. Florence, Stockholm, Budapest, Belgium, Toronto, Hungary. When did I do New York? The first episode we did New York, San Marino, Kyrgyzstan, Iceland. Do Toronto, Tokyo. We've done. Buenos Aires, I think we've done Buenos Aires. Bangkok or Chiang Mai. Maybe Iceland, actually. Okay, let's do Iceland. Let's do one in Reykjavik. God, Iceland would be an insane location for a rally stage of the World Rally Championship. Okay, let's see what we could do here. I'll try to be a little bit more realistic because I think the Amsterdam one was completely implausible. Okay, we've got some quite wide motorway type roads, so that's a bit of a backbone. Yeah, actually, we've got a lot of curvy stuff going on. Let's make this the start. Oh, okay, we can't go right. Well, we can, but only down a very narrow slipway. Okay, that's tricky. I thought we could go. Okay, we can't make use of that section maybe so much. These are really annoying slipways. Is that okay? That's a normal one. We can use that in some fashion. Let's move the start line there. Let's go around. Let's go left. Again, the slipways are such a pain in the arse. Okay, that's a bit more. We can work with that. Let's take it down there. Okay, obviously not going in the central reservation. Down the slipway, measurements on 1.6 miles. Switch that to kilometers. 2.67 kilometers. Around the roundabout. Let's go across. Keep going. How are we looking? Okay, there's not much going on so far. Be a reasonably fast circuit, this one. But we'll turn off here anyway. Go up and around. If we just join back on there, or should go across 5 kilometers, we should probably just go straight through, I think. So up, along, around, down these, making use of a lot of slipways. Are we still able to send you more of our layouts? Yep, you can DM me or on Discord, Instagram. You can send me those to me. Probably won't be able to open the midstream, but I can do before the next one. Okay, this might be a better turn off than the one up there, and it's more interesting. It makes it a little bit more interesting. So we can take a left here around this bastard roundabout. Let's keep going. I think they drive. Do they even drive on the? Well, no, it looks like they drive on the right. But hey, whatever. We recreate our layouts. Well, if they're not like already the right file type, then I can. Otherwise, I just have to import them in. Okay, we've got a nice turn off there. So, what's going on? Okay, that's a car park we nearly went through. And then we'll go right here. Up, and turning left back on. Move that over. 8.7. Oops. 9 kilometers in the end. Okay, so quite long. Nearly 6 miles. Probably maybe a bit long for Formula One. Yeah, not the most inventive design, but it's still it's more realistic, I think. Having to use the bigger roads and that. Still have my headphones on, which I don't need to have on. Okay, so now we need a name of a something Icelandic. Siguró, Bjork. That weird, like, fermented shark meat that they eat. Where are we? This is Reykjavik. Volcano, of course, volcanoes that, disrupt all the flights in Europe from time to time. Eyjafjallajökull. Harkal Ring. Harold Bluetooth. Wasn't he the Viking that, like, discovered Iceland or something? Maybe I should just name it after that annoying ass volcano. If I just save that as total not untitled path, I go to Europe, Iceland. Oh god, I could just pick any of these and make that the name. But the one that fucked everything up like 10 years ago, or I think actually was whoops. Copy blam. Where is it? Down in here. No, not in the block folder. Yeah. AF Yellow Yerkel circuit. So how does this look? Okay, so this Reykjavik hasn't been mapped out on Google Earth yet. This feels, yeah, somewhat legitimate, I think. It would have to be done at the height of the summer, not that there is much of a summer there. I guess the slipways getting off this motorway are a little narrow, but otherwise, you know, it's got something to it. It'd be nice and fast. And that is a very long straight. With a little bit of elevation change as well. Going up, a bit of a crest here. Yeah. Okay. Right, okay, so now we need... let's try another country we haven't done yet. Mumbai. We haven't done India yet. That hasn't come up. Bangkok. Fort Worth, Texas. Nice. Manila. Sofia, Quito, Greenland, Chiang Mai. Let's move out. Yeah, let's move outside Europe. Let's do Manila. Southeast Asia. So Manila. What have we got to work with here when it loads up? Okay. Yep, fairly typical, very densely populated Asian city. So we got highway, parkland area. That's a statue, and that's a statue. So we did try and dine circuit in Slovenia. I did one in Ljubljana last week. We did in Slovakia we did the Totally Not Slovenia Speedway, and in Slovenia we did the Totally Not Slovakia Speedway. How is your car buying going? Oh, it's on hold. I've been too busy with work at the moment. Yeah. I will get one eventually. I just, the moment, I can get away with not having one for the time being, but maybe in a few months I might actually need one. Is there a way that we can see all the circuits you've done? Okay, when I'm done designing circuits on this stream, I'll then go through each of them and just show you them one at a time. I think, rather than pausing to do all that. So anyway, looking at this has got some potential to use for part of it. This looks almost like a paddock. I mean, I'm really designing circuits for Formula E. What full-time job do you have? This. YouTube. That's my full-time job. Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones that doesn't have to do something else on the side to pay the bills. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So that's wide as well. I don't know what that building is. It looks fairly important. Okay, let's think about this. And now this is starting to lag, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. Let's start here and go around. Let's go to a left, up. We need a pretentious hairpin, so that can be said hairpin. Okay, now we're going under like an overhead railway. So this looks like one of the tracks in Burnout, in the like American City section. If I go left here, and then up and around. And then up we go. We're going to go over the river. Found quite a wide highway. Oh, I do wish this would stop lagging. Up over the river. Can't entirely tell where the roads go, but there's some sort of gateways there, so we can't just go straight forwards. We'll go around the gateway, up along, turn right here, and then I guess we need to get back over. We're on 2 miles. We need to get back over. Yeah, okay. That's elevated. Okay, we can't use that bridge. Ooh, actually. Ooh. We go underneath, and then we go right here. Then we go up to the world's sharpest hairpin, up this slipway, over the bridge, and down, around the roundabout, and then back down. Okay, that needs moved over. Yeah, 3.75 miles. That's got something going for it. Have you done any Canadian cities? In the first episode, we did Quebec City, but haven't done any others beyond that. So this has got something. Okay. Now we need something Filipino. I don't know. I can name a couple of famous Filipino people. I can name, Imelda Marcos and Corazon Aquino. Philippines itself, I don't know anything about it much. What it makes it anything unique to the Philippines. Tony Satemba was an American F1 driver. He was born in Manila when it was under Japanese occupation, I think, or American occupation. A thriller and a spiller in Manila. The Bianca Bustamante racing track. Of course, she's Filipino, isn't she? Marcos International, Volcano Speedway, Mount Tambora's Mount Pinatubo is the one, the big ass volcano in the Philippines. Marcos International, Billion Islands. I think someone told me once, I think it's 6,657 islands in the high tide, and then 6,658 in the low tide, or 7,000 something. There's one island which gets submerged at high tide, but it's the only one that does. Super GT Steve circuit. Maybe just Marcos International. It's not a country I can think of unique things to do with, and I can't name any other than Bustamante. Can't name any Filipino drivers in any category off the top of my head. So play this. Yep, statue, high rise. Quite a nice setting. Around big ass buildings. That could be a palace of some kind, I don't know. Zachary David being raced under the flag of Malta. Oh, okay. Maybe he was born, I'm guessing maybe born in the Philippines, but up, around, over the bridge. Have you done an Italian city? Well, we did a sort of joke one in Venice, but I don't think I've done any other Italian cities, actually. Yeah, this one's all right. Okay, the lagging is annoying me, and last week we had problems of this crashing and me losing circuits, so I'm going to close Google Earth and reopen it. Get rid of all of that. Where is it? 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 And now you can see my desktop and how many games I've got, none of which I ever play. Okay. Marlon Sturkinger is that a Filipino driver. But yeah, so I mentioned Italy. I don't think I've done Italy properly because we did that jokey one in Venice, which is designed for like speedboats. Maybe somewhere in Italy actually is a good shout. Rome, well, obviously I've got the two Gran Turismos, the Pescara circuit. This one, I can't believe I love this track. I can't believe that was actually done in Formula One. Insane. There's the Città in Assisi. Florence is obviously the lovely one, or even Maranello, because then you got the connection to Ferrari. Museo Ferrari, there's Fiorano. Or even Faenza, although... Oh, I need to change the name of that to whatever the fuck they're called now. Maybe not Faenza. Turin. Oh, Turin's gorgeous, isn't it? My Italian geography is slightly sketchy. Oh, you can see Monza just there. Turin, that's where I think Farina was born there. Possibly Ascari as well. Could I do something in Turin? Some very narrow streets again. That's wider, but there's trees down the middle of it. Naples. Oh yeah, we did again. We did a joke one in Pompeii before. Maybe Naples itself. This looks more promising, actually. Yeah. Oh goodness. Okay, that's all elevated. Yeah, I might be able to work with this. So we need a section down by this very exotic waterfront full of all these cargo ships. Okay, everyone's shouting Sicily at me now. What's even on Sicily? What cities? Messina, Palermo. Oh, Palermo, of course. What we got? Palermo. Where can we do? What we could do with this? I mean, it looks fairly typical of the others. It opens up a bit more on this side. Is that okay? It's lined with trees, so that's not too good. That might work. Or this could be the backbone of it. Yeah, I'll see if I can make this work. Yeah, okay. Let's start here. This is going to be a clockwise circuit again. That's going to annoy them a little. So we'll go left. Big ass roundabout there. We could go across there, down, along, and then turn off here. That's fairly wide. Do we go across? And then don't want it to get too narrow. It's just about manageable, I guess, when you take... Okay, that's extremely narrow. Okay, we'll go right here. And then left. Um, we got these purple. Is that what are they called? Jacarandas. Those are the purple trees, aren't they? They're from South America. 1.3 miles. Let's keep going through. Is that no? That's a bit narrow. Go around here. And let's go around the roundabout. How long is this? Just over 2 miles. We can maybe try and extend this a little bit more. This one's ended up being a little small. But not bad for a start. I could maybe do something a bit more using this. If I go right here. Oh, this is narrow again. Through, do I want it to just carry on like that or go back there and then carry straight on? And then around. Yeah, this has got something. 2.2 miles. That's a bit... Yeah, it's still on the short side, but that's not too bad. It goes around what looks like is some quite pretty areas. So now we need a name. For Sicily... well, Sicily itself... Mount Etna, I think, is on Sicily, unless that's its own island. The Second Punic War, or actually, I think the First Punic War also happened on Sicily. The Vito Corleone, of course, the mafia are all from Sicily, aren't they? Sicilian mafia. FIA, yeah. Mafia Drone. The Godfather. Corleone Droma. Marlon Alexander Sturkinger is a Filipino-Swiss Formula race driver who raced for Status Grand Prix in the 2012 GP3. He is Filipino to win he is the only Filipino to win a Formula race in Europe. Okay. I've never heard of Status Grand Prix, but I guess if that's 10 years ago, GP3 it would kind of pass over. The Goodfellas Speedway, Kubitsa's Arm, Autodromo de Padre. I like Mafia, or FIA would be that. So, Circuit. How does this look? Oh, 3D printed city. Good. I mean, yeah, this is quite... Ooh, we suddenly jumped up. This is quite charming. I mean, every Italian city is lovely, pretty much, so hardly surprising. Don't know why it's jumping up like that. Okay. Autodromo de Autodromo. Circuit of Circuit. Yeah, circuit squared. Columbus, Ohio, Marshall Islands. The Marshall Islands. Oh goodness. Okay, we're going to try another. Could I make the Marshall Islands work? Where even are the Marshall Islands? Palau, Marshall Islands. Oh goodness. Is there anywhere substantial? Or is it just atolls? Okay, there's some... I think there's some land. I don't think there's any way you could build one on here. No. How do people live here? Like, it's just a strip of sand in the middle of the ocean. And all these atolls, they're like hundreds of miles from one another as well. Yeah, I don't think the Marshall Islands is going to happen. I can't even tell. I was sure that they had actual islands as part of it, not just atolls. There's someone called Laura. Going down. Oh, those are the Gilbert Islands. Okay, yeah, I don't think that's going to work. That's a little too small. Majuro, Mumbai or Bengaluru, Hobart, Ljubljana, Barbados, Indian. Yeah, we haven't done an Indian city yet. So let's do somewhere in India. So, yeah, obviously New Delhi is an option. Mumbai, want somewhere, extremely dense and overcrowded. Coimbatore, that's where Narain Kartikeyan's from. Or even Chennai, which is where Chandok is from. Calcutta, Dharavi, South Mumbai. Bangalore's too tricky because Mumbai, isn't this like the peninsula is like the densest plot of land in the world, I think, in terms of population, pretty much. Majuro has oh, that's Marshall Islands. Yeah, there must be somewhere substantial in there, but this is, oh goodness, look at this. Look at that. That is so dense. Oh man. There's just is that a railway cutting through? Oh, overhead railway cutting through the middle. Airport. I wonder if I can do something with Delhi. Because Delhi would have some probably very wide streets around the centre. Oh, goodness, it does. Oh, wow, look at this. Oh, this is brilliant. I love this like geometric zoning plan they've done. President's Estate. Okay, I'm guessing that's the palace where Narendra Modi lives. Okay, so we've got some very, very wide avenues here. That you could very easily fit a pit lane in there in some form. So that might be a starting point. Modi's the PM, yeah, of course. I have no idea who the president is in India. So we'll start here. I want to make use of this geometric stuff we got going on. So we can't go through that gate. We can go up around. That's the Katavia Path. Parades. Oh, parades are held there. Oh, okay. That's that's a little bit narrow. Maybe if I go turn around this way. Obligatory annoying roundabout. And then down. Maybe for once I won't make them go all the way around. Or do I just zoom off down that way? How long is this now? 1.28. Your voice is the most soothing thing on this planet. Everyone always says that. It's funny because I used to be, before I started doing YouTube, I was really self-conscious about my voice, and like people would just make fun of me for being really nasal, and everyone seems to like listening to me talk, which is kind of interesting. It's mine because I like reading scripts, and like I kind of wish I'd love to like record audiobooks or be like a voice actor in cartoons. Because one idea I had thought of for a stream, because people were saying they'd never read Adrian knew his autobiography, How to Build a Car, or How to Build a Formula One car. And I was thinking I could do like a live reading of that as a stream. But for copyright reasons, I wouldn't be allowed to do that. I'd need to get permission from the publishers if I was going to read out the entire book, unfortunately. But yeah. Stockinger was the 2006 Asian karting champion, 2007 Philippine Rotax Max champion, and the '08 Formula BMW Pacific Scholarship winner. Okay, I mean, I didn't, yeah. Never heard of the guy, but I guess there's, yeah. Southeast Asia doesn't lend itself to too many racing drivers. I think anywhere outside of Europe, it's always trickier to kind of break through. What cities have we done so far? We've done Amsterdam, Reykjavik, and Palermo in Sicily, and then we're in New Delhi. So, okay, I need to think again because I'm just going off in funny directions. We can make this... No, let's make this a bit more symmetrical. These roads are all quite wide. This is lovely. I mean, okay, you can tell... Actually, I've just noticed the houses. You can tell this is where all the rich people live. These are some big-ass houses. Yeah, it's an interesting place, India, that obviously there are, some people that are very, very wealthy and live very comfortably, but then there are a lot of people who do not. And it's one of those countries that has quite a significant divide in a way that in Europe, you'll get people that are considered below the poverty line, but they still have access to like clean water and electricity and internet access and stuff like that. It's a different kettle of fish in like the slums of cities like this. Government residences. Oh well, that's still the same thing, just rich people. The rich. I mean, that's funny that they all have their almost like a commune that or condos. Yeah, that they would do that because obviously in the UK, most MPs they just live in their constituency. And that if I go off that way, yeah, maybe we'll go right here because this is a tad more swervy. But yeah, it goes through all the posh parts of the city. So in just straight lines. And then I guess 2.6, yeah, and then we just go back around. Yeah, serious lack of road traffic I'm seeing along here. Obviously not used much. It's their equivalent of the Mall or Pall Mall in London. I don't mind that. That's not too bad. I mean, it would drive OCD people nuts because it's like trying to be symmetrical but not quite symmetrical. Okay, we need a name. Tread very carefully when it comes to a name, giving it a Indian name. Because when you say name a famous person, most people would just go Gandhi. Someone else, I suppose, from that movement, Subhas Chandra Bose. He's not so famous in the West, but he was one of the really big features in the Indian independent movement. Carter K. Ring. Oh, that's good. Yep, that's a good one. Bud's twin sister. I mean, it looks nothing like Bud, but yeah, same city. Cucumber Grand Prix, Cucumber Speedway, Cucumber Circuit. The poverty problem is being reduced. Davari will now be redeveloped. Yeah, no, obviously I know it is going down. It's always been going down, but when you've got such a massive population, it's going to take a long time to get everyone out of poverty. It's just so many people in one country. It's a huge country, but still, it's just so many people. Mahavir Ring, of course, Mahavir Raguna Circuit, Raghunathan. Singh Ring. Yeah, maybe the Cucumber Circuit, Raguna Ring. Tech Support Circuit. No, let's. If it was, it's not in Coimbatore, but let's call it the Cucumber Ring. Cucumber Ring. Cucumber Ring. That just looks like that. 3.39 miles. I think this is actually not a bad design. I'll be honest. I mean, I don't know what the drivers would. There's one, maybe only one or two proper overtaking spots, but it's got something. It's got something going for it. But let's see. Okay, big ass arch, Indian version of Arc de Triomphe. Yeah, these are some. Yeah. Ooh, that's on a hill. Okay, whatever that building is. Yeah, these are some very nice looking houses. I think that's all right. It's nice and open. Oh, that is a big ass palace. I don't know if it's well. Yeah. I'm guessing it's a bit flatter than that in real life. That's very uneven. It looks like the ground has kind of subsided a bit, or liquefaction, isn't it called? Yeah, it must be. It must be flatter than that in real life. I think that's just Google Earth being funny. That is bloody enormous. Yeah, that's quite something. If one of those is where the president lives, and maybe the other one is the seat of government. I don't know. There's a statue. Oh, it's an obelisk of someone. Is that a? Oh, it's just okay. It's just an obelisk. I thought there was a statue of somebody. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not because Bud is in Delhi. I think it's on Noida, Greater Noida, isn't it? Greater Noida. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's Bud. How far is that? I like seeing. Oh no, wrong button. Where's the measurement thing? Oh, I've still got this on, haven't I? How far is that? That is 25 miles, 26 miles away. Yeah, Bud. I mean, I guess it's on the outskirts of the city, and it, like, I thought attendance was quite good for those races. The races weren't themselves were pretty dull, but it looked pretty well sold out. I think they had issues that Vettel won all three races, and even if they can claim the moment of him winning his fourth title and doing the donuts on the straight as their historic moment. The circuit was extremely dusty, I remember, in 2011, and they had problems with stray dogs running around on the track. And maybe just the funding dried up. I don't think losing Carter Cahan made a huge difference, to be honest, to losing the circuit. I know some of the drivers, I think Lewis was one who spoke up. I think they were a bit concerned by the levels of like poverty and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's a brilliant circuit, Bud. It's one I would like to see make a return in the future, and it looks so much like Kyle Army. Like if this was the start finish straight, it would literally just be Kyle Army. Yeah. Okay. Filipino race knows Angelo Barreto, Michele Bumgarner, Bianca Bustamante, Gabby Della Merced, Daryl De Leon, Arsenio Laurel, Paolo Lafamia, Jody Marcello, Enzo Pastor, Piccolo Ramirez, Dante Silverio, Francisco Ventura. A lot of those are like Italian sounding names. Jamari Yolana. It used to be a Spanish colony and then American, didn't it, Philippines? Okay. Right, next city. So I mentioned Nauru. Nauru is an island, but again, you could do like a perimeter. There's like a perimeter road going around it, but Bristol. Oh God, yeah. At some point we'll have to go somewhere a bit more local to me. But man, Bristol's a dive. Manchester, Tasmania, yeah. Cape Town, of course. Let's try Nauru, and then we can do maybe Hobart, because we've done mainland Australia a couple of times. We could do try Tasmania. Not Palau. Nauru is up. Where is Nauru? It's around here, isn't it? Isn't Palau? No. Palau's more substantial. Nauru is there. God, imagine that. What are the chances of anyone actually stumbling across this? I mean, look how isolated it is. Okay, so there's a few roads here. It goes literally... Okay, well, actually, maybe we can incorporate the airport because it doesn't seem to have a perimeter fence. It looks like the road just goes around the runway. I know the center of the island, you basically can't go into it anymore because they used to mine it for guava, which was like sort of like hardened bird droppings. And so I think because of pollution, the interior of the island is basically inhospitable now. And it has like really bad problems of obesity. It's one of the fattest countries on earth. Incorporate the Australian detention centre. I didn't even know there was. I suppose I don't know where that is, to be honest. But yeah, I guess they would have one like where they would use that to hold any illegal immigrants and that hold them offshore for processing or asylum or whatever. Nauru has the highest obese percentage in the world. Joey Marcello died May 15th, 1992, Indiana Speedway. Right. That must be Indiana, as in Indianapolis. Yeah, I mean, the 500, there's a death almost every year, isn't there? Okay, let's do this. So... let's get the runway is going to be the main straight in the paddock because it's just connected to everything else. Start there, turn off right here, go up, try and use the widest roads I can, not that there are many. And we go left. Nauru is where Casho is from. What/who is Casho? Can't say I know any famous Nauruans. It has a population of about 10,000. I think it's one of the world's. I think it's the world's third smallest country, actually, behind Monaco and the Vatican. 1.2 mile. Casio Twitch. Is it a Twitch streamer? He's really French. Okay. Okay, I can't use this road. It's going off all the way. Yeah, this is... yeah. This is more of a rally. So, big solar farm. Maybe that's the detention centre. How long are we? 1.2 miles. Okay, I thought I could use that road, but obviously can't. Because it goes off. Maybe it should just turn into like half a rally course, something to rival the Nürburgring for length. Again, I thought that kind of comes off in an awkward way. Yeah, this is going to be a rally course. This is not an F1 circuit. So up we go. It looks kind of, I mean, it's interesting looking. It's probably quite exotic, even though you're not really supposed to go to these parts of the island because of the pollution. Let's do something here. These look more like dirt tracks. This looks like something you'd find in like a quarry. Yeah, I think this is the area where they would mine guava. Let's go through and around there. Down. And then... Okay, we're coming up to the detention centre. So I guess if you even if you get deported from Australia, at least you get to watch a Formula One race for free. Is that solar panels, like a solar farm maybe? Down 4.6. Okay, this isn't quite as long as I thought it might end up being, but yeah. Case was born in a fairly small town within Dallas County, Arkansas, by his parents. Currently lives in Clarendon near Stuttgart. Raised in a Christian house with two brothers. Is that just been copied from Wikipedia? It's got the citations on it. Are there any drivers on the grid that you just have no time for? In terms of ones I don't like, oh, where am I going? Oh no, we're still. We can't link that up so well. It's gonna have to go. Oh no, I've done something funny here. Maybe one of these. If there's a tiny little side road, I can make it come off. I mean, here actually it's wide enough that I could just make them go past one another. Or something, because otherwise this is going off on a huge tangent. Oh, I really hope there would be a road linking there. That looked like it was going to go up. Just about links. Okay, well, they need to do some remodeling, laying down some actual tarmac. But yeah, we can do something. We can fit something through here. Maybe they'll just do it all in dune buggies. I don't know. And then we link up here and around past the airport. All the way past the airport, right to the very end. Let's just have a giant straight, because why not? And then back down the runway. That'll be fun for setup. A huge, massive, long straight, and then all this twiddly stuff where you need downforce. Okay. It almost looks like the Hungaroring, like a severely deformed Hungaroring. So, okay, I mentioned before Nauru. I don't really know much about it beyond the fact, like people have said, it's the world's fattest country. Guava was mined there, so for a brief period, it was I think it was one of the wealthiest countries per capita in like the 70s and 80s, and then the Americans showed up and gave them too much freedom, and now it's all gone to shit. So yeah, guava and fat people. That's all I really know about Nauru. The Guava Ring, yeah, the Pacific Grand Prix. I really wish that we didn't have a race and a team that had exactly the same name. Insulin Ring, Guava Ring, Fat Ocean GP, the Fatty Circuit, Nauru Ring. Yeah, let's call it the Guava Ring. That's their only claim to fame, really. It's what made the country in the end of the day. Hamburger Ring. Right. Oh god, it takes up most of the island. It's tiny, and it's in the middle of nowhere, and yet everyone lives on the outskirts because you can't go into the interior. How does it look? Guano, sorry, not guava. Yeah, guava is a fruit. Guano, that's the one. That's what I meant to say. The like dried bird shit or whatever it is. That I think you can use it as a fuel. I think you can burn it to or something like coal. I don't know. Yeah, this is more of a rally stage than a Formula One circuit. um, Bono, why does my car smell like shit? Yeah. Guano bat poop. No, just birds, apparently. Yeah, I'll rename it to the guana. Maybe guava grows in Nauru. I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing that. I think it was either Spanish. I think it was Spanish explorers who turned up, who showed up at the island one day and they were like, "Well, there's coconuts, but not much else going on. Um, nothing is growing there now." Yeah. It's a depressing place. I think it's something a lot of people leave and end up going to Australia because there's nothing for them in Nauru. Guava is India and South America. Okay, yeah. Isn't it like spiky? It's like really prickly guava. It wouldn't surprise me if they have informal races done on that airport because I can't imagine they probably get like a plane comes in like once a week bringing in supplies from overseas. But yeah, the guano ring is what that was meant to be. Okay, I mentioned Tasmania before, so we need somewhere a bit more closer to civilization. So, oh, there's a what? Is there a circuit? Oh, that's a circuit that's in already a real circuit in Tasmania. Tiny little thing. Forgotten what one that is. But Hobart. I'm trying to think because Eagle Hawk Neck, is that? No, that's here. Okay. I was thinking I could use that, but that's obviously not what I thought it. Oh no, this is Eagle Hawk Neck. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I thought if that was in Hobart or near it, I might make that work. Port Arthur. Ooh. Hobart. Let's see what we got here. Isn't that bridge quite famous? Only problem is the only other bridge coming back over is all the way over there, so that's way too big. But the rest of it, standard grid format. This is definitely usable. Coastal road. Yeah, this could work. We've got something going here. That's not a paddock, really. Make it two-way. Like, actually, maybe I could use that and I could make it go... Unless I just make a really tight hairpin, you need to find a way to get off there and around. Oh, F-Code, thank you for the 50 Czech crowns. I got another idea for your iceberg, a Beatables tattoo. Oh, of course, tattoo. He did get it done, didn't he? The Ricardo, because Ricardo said if I get a podium in 2020, you have to put a tattoo on. Yes, I'll do that. I can add that, definitely. Can you please pronounce the full name of Imola? Autodromo Enzo Edina Ferrari? Isn't that the full name? Better than most other people would just go Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari in Britain. Right. Okay, yeah, we're going to make use of the bridge. So with that in mind, we'll have something... yeah, let's start around here. And up we go. I feel like Tasmania, if you wanted to ease yourself into going to Australia, it's a good starting point because the climate is basically the same. Or, well, a little bit different, but I guess it's kind of described as like a temperate rainforest. At least in the interior of the island. Just wet and humid, but reasonably warm without being like oppressively hot. So yeah, we're going to go all the way over the bridge. This is definitely a famous bridge, isn't it? And then we need to think about if I do something here, or if I just make a hairpin and go all the way. Where we at? Hobart, Tasmania. So do I go all the way? The thing is, there's this central. I can't just get off and turn around. All these annoying modern cities with their... Oh, let's just make a hairpin. Around here. Houses look nice. It's probably a really nice place to live, Hobart, I imagine. And we're going. So we've gone back around. Okay, no, I'm not gonna... Oh, no. Yeah, we need to use the slipway. So up around this... Up, there we go. And that brings us back out. How long is this now? Oh God, how long is that bridge? Nearly 3 miles. Oh dear. Okay, we're gonna have to have another hairpin at some point and bring this into a more realistic length. Like so, actually. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna go up around on this side road that goes over the railway. And let's go. Okay, this is not much of a... I thought this was a more substantial road, but it just stops. Okay, so we can't use that side road. That's annoying. We can go at least around here, just to piss off the drivers a bit. Try and deviate a little bit. What is in Hobart? Off the top of my head, I don't know much. Well, I know the bridge is famous for some reason, which we're using, but beyond that, like, I know a lot about Australia, but not Tasmania specifically so much. This looks more like the circuit, the Asian circuit in Burnout 3 that goes over that huge bridge. So this is another very long one. So we'll have to just do another hairpin. A very hairpinny circuit, this one, but just over 4 miles. Oh God, I mean, it looks awful. Everyone would just like gawk at that if you showed this off as the new Tasman Grand Prix. So, but it's got, yeah, it's interesting at least. It doesn't really touch the city at all, but again, most of them you don't need to be right in the city centre. But okay, so yeah, Tasmania. Well, what do I know about Tasmania? The Thylacine, you know, it may or may not exist. Tasmania Ring. So let's come up. Tiger Ring, Van Diemen Ring. Oh, of course, it used to be Van Diemen's Land, didn't it? And then they named it Tasmania after Abel Tasman. I think, wasn't it him that he went through the Bass Strait, and I think he proved that it was an island, Abel Tasman or something. I'm getting all my explorers mixed up. Tasman Ring, Van Diemen Ring. Yeah, let's do Tasman Ring. It does look weird, but it could be fun. Tasman Ring. Rasman Ring. Rasman Ring. I can't type. Tasman Ring. So how does this look? Everything's to load up. Oh, it's pretty. I like the evergreen trees. It's almost Canadian. So we're going... Okay, that's a steep bridge. That's the kind of bridge that Red Bull do their, like, demonstration runs on when they get, like, Patrick Friesacker to pretend to be Max Verstappen. Oh, my God, look at that. Yeah, that's quite something. And then around the hairpin... Are you going to do a Vice Spoke video every year? Yes. I haven't decided when I'm going to get started on number 3 for this year. Just find a window when I've got like a month to work on it. Things are getting going again in terms of viewership now that, you know, Formula 1 is kicking off, and it's just finding a suitable window to fit that in. Also trying to factor in when the races are back and stuff like that. How about a driver iceberg? Well, I need to try... Generally, I'm already struggling for ideas because I used up a lot of the big ones in the first 2, so I'm trying to keep it broader than just drivers specifically. How can I send in tracks? You can DM me on Instagram or Discord in the server. So... Electrical engineering building. Ooh, and the Waterworth building. Ah. Exotic. Yeah. Okay, so outside of there, we need somewhere different part of the world. Cape Town, Asmara, Rio Branco, Brazil, Nook, Iceland, Batumi. Where are these places? Manchester, Cape Town, Athens. Maybe let's do Cape Town, so we've got somewhere in Africa done. So this... Okay, that's around the waterfront area, city centre. Up here, this doesn't look quite so promising. Big city. Very big, actually. Table Mountain. Okay, so it needs to be in this area because that's obviously the famous part of the city. Again, we've got the grid layout. That has potential. A couple of squiggly, wider roads. Nice big-ass train station. I wonder, actually, just thinking, because we're at the bottom end of Africa, that's like the last end of the line for the whole continent, assuming that the South African railway network's connected up to the rest of the continent. There's a Formula E track in Cape Town around the stadium. Yeah, that'll be one of the ones I haven't plotted in yet because I got bored of doing bloody Formula E circuits. It goes around the stadium. Oh, I could see them bullshitting something around there, definitely. We'll keep away from the stadium then. Try not to overlap it. Oh, there's a marina. Got a bit of Abu Dhabi going on. So let me think about this. I'm going to incorporate the grid bits and the twiddly bits. Again, they had to have the trees going down the middle. Curse them for trying to make the streets look nice. Okay, let's do... No. That's all elevated, so that's... Doesn't work. What the hell is that? They built some elevated roads and then just stopped. I guess they connected to that which is now a car park. I mean, God knows what's happened there. Is it better up here? Because the wider road goes off that way. That's all just docks. We can throw this in somewhere. Unfinished, under construction. Right, okay. Okay, well, we use this maybe as a... no, because that goes up elevated. This road could be a starting point. Yeah, let's start along there. Go. At the roundabout, let's keep going. We need a way back around. That's the tricky thing. If that links up across, I could keep going. And this is this is difficult. Okay, we're less than a mile, so actually the distance is not at the moment is not a huge concern. If I keep going around, and then we go along. And down, I have to get back quickly enough because I've got 1.3 miles. Big ass straight. Let's go right there. We can link up onto this highway. And keep going. Past the unfinished overhead bit. And then we're back in the city. 2.4 miles. Okay, we're not so bad for length now. And let's go incorporate some of the city. Oh yeah, this will be easy. Yeah, we'll just go through here. And yeah, we'll go around the roundabout. And then around the next one. $3.29 miles. Across. Bam. Yeah. That's not so bad, actually. Yeah, I think that's not too horrid. Okay. South African name. Let's see. The Springbok is the national animal. Obviously, the rugby team are called the Springboks, aren't they? What else is South African? Nelson Mandela is South African. Jodie Scheckter is South African. That guy that took out what's his face, Liam Lawson in DTM, he's South African. Kelvin van der Linde, Bad Monaco, Jodie Circuit, Jabulani Speedway, Elon Musk Ring, Springbok Circuit, Tambo Raceway, Scheckter Speedway, Mandela Port Circuit, Cecilu Scheckter Bindering. It's a bit of a mouthful. Mandela Port, that sounds like a real place. So you could, even though this is the Victoria and Alfred waterfront. Why is it Alfred and not Albert? Which Victoria? Because, yeah. I don't know why they would call it, because well, the last Alfred, well, it was King Alfred the Great in the Middle Ages. Sisulu was an anti-apartheid man. Oh, okay. Tesla Speeder. Yeah, I like Mandela Port. We'll call it that. How does this look? Was a son of Victoria. Oh, yes, he was one of Duke of Connaught. I think he was one of her other sons. Dry dock, nice. Yeah, these roads are big. There, this isn't bad actually. Oh, it is actually elevated, or maybe it's just hidden behind that section. Yeah, this has potential. If they wanted to just not use Kyle Army, do the Mandela Port circuit. Okay, let's go out and design a Canadian circuit, eh? Let's do Canada. So we did Quebec City. Obviously, Toronto's an option, Ottawa's an option, Montreal, Vancouver. Although, actually, speaking of, Vancouver had a street circuit. I put this one in because Toca World Touring Cars, I love that game. This was my favourite circuit, and I never knew if it was real. I didn't realise it's not used anymore. I didn't know it was actually real, the street circuit in Vancouver. So maybe not, yeah, Vancouver's got one. Well, it had one already. Calgary, Edmonton... Can you go from my circuit to the... I could do it at the end. Again, boah, yeah. Winnipeg. No, let's do somewhere... Maybe just Toronto is a good shout. Regina, or Regina, how you meant to say it. Regina. Yeah, Toronto we can work with, because you've got, you know, the CN Tower. You've got that, which is the famous stadium entertainment thingy. Lots and lots of big roads here. Where is the CN Tower? I should be able to see it from this angle. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we've got to make that needs to be prominent. It needs to have prominence in some way. Train station. That's a wide road. That is good. Big wide bridge. I want to use this in some fashion. That I'm going to get stuck on a highway if we end up using that. Okay, this is wide. Now we'll start up here. Toronto has a circuit for IndyCar. I don't know it. I don't know the layout, so if I design one that's the same, then I guess that's a good big coincidence. Maybe I can do one that's better. We'll see. So I'll do that. Start here. Oh, oops. Ignore the central reservation. Right past the CN Tower. Do we go under? I think we go. I think we take a left and we go under. That looks interesting. So we can go right here, up and all the way around. Oh, such wide roads. Very, very helpful designs. Keep going. Got another wide road here. We can either go... Maybe we just need some generic, like, 90 degree turns. How's that? Very low res road, but we can go right along here. Up. Then we'll end up back up on this one. 2 miles. Okay, we're at the back. We can extend this a little bit more. So we'll go along all the way to here, 2.4 miles. and maybe just down. Yeah. 3.1 miles. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's yeah, not too zazzy, but it looks somewhat realistic as a design, I guess. So obviously we did the one in Quebec City. We called that the Go-Tifi ring. So we need something Canadian that's not Nicholas Latifi. Like maple syrup. That's a Canadian. Maple leaves, ice hockey, apologizing, CN ring, strollerdrome, maple tree way, moose. Those are they're Canadian. Lawrence Circuit, Strulovich International Autodrome. Even Stroll, or even just Stroll Speedway. Since Go-Tifi gets one named after him, then maybe Lance Stroll should get one too. Yeah, maybe a Stroll Speedway. Good one. It's 3.1 miles. How does this one look? Past DC Place, CN Tower. I mean, I think this is all right. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with a city of this design, to be honest. Yeah. Obviously, people said there is an IndyCar circuit. I have no idea. I don't know the layout, so I don't know if it overlaps with mine at all. But yeah, I'm really confused that Latifi is Canadian Iranian. He's half Iranian. His dad's from Iran. Hence Latifi as his surname. If you go to the BC Place Stadium, you'll see part of the IndyCar. Yeah, I mean, I can see them using a curved bit like that. It's like East Downtown around there. It's around Exhibition Place. So I guess I have used part of it for the design. Yeah, but those are that's the obvious place to do it. So yeah, but I don't know the circuit myself. Okay. Let's think. We haven't done South America yet, so maybe we should pay them a visit. Let's think, because we've done Rio before. We did La Paz. Bois made one in Caracas. Buenos Aires is an option, unless I did one already. Did I do one already? Oh, I've already done one in Buenos Aires. Oh, no, that's the Formula E circuit. God, that's garbage. Look at that. That's the kind of shit they have to put up with in Formula E. We at least had that in Formula One. Montevideo. We did Rio. Sao Paulo obviously has Interlagos. Brasilia has its own circuit. I put this one because again this was Talk of World Touring Cars. I liked this one. I think it It closed and then they just reopened it. Recife, yeah, that's an option. The Falkland Islands. Oh Christ, the Falkland Islands. It's really not that substantial, actually. Like there's the islands are quite large, but hardly anyone. I think it has the population is less than 5,000 is in total. Yeah, around Stanley, not much you can work with here. Need somewhere bigger. What about Lima or Quito? Cusco, where is Lima? This has potential, actually. Yeah, there's enough big roads that you could make something work here, actually. Is that... Oh, that goes under. Okay. That road is not quite as wide as I thought it would be. All the roads have got trees or in every city we've done, all the roads have got like trees and central reservations down the middle of them. Like this one, that we're doing fine, but there's bloody trees in the middle. The stadium, obviously, that's a kind of focal point for any city. Okay, let's try here. See what I can do here. If I go forwards, again, we make liberal use of this roundabout. This is all not. This gives some contrast. I need to make use of that, I think. But these roads are a bit annoyingly narrow. Oh, we could go down the mid. What is that? Okay, we can't quite use that road. That's annoying. No, we can go around here and down. How long is it? 1.5 miles. Okay, so we've used most of the length up already. And then wait. I know what I'm going to do. Yeah. No, wrong one. There we go. 2.5 miles. Okay, that's just Silverstone. A slightly deformed Silverstone. Yeah. Ugh. Name it the Emperor's New Street Circuit. Yeah, that popped into my mind like just now because I was thinking Peru and I was like Cusco, Emperor's New Groove. I think it's the Aztecs the Aztecs are in Mexico. The Aztecs and the Mayans are Mexico, aren't they? The Incas are the ones in Peru. I think, yeah. Dubai, Buenos Aires, say that. The Emperor's New Street Circuit, yeah, that's a good one. And this... Ooh, mountains. How's the altitude? Oh, only 400 feet. Okay. I thought it was like high altitude and yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is actually quite authentic, I think, as a design that might get accepted. The trees are a bit of a pain in the arse, but otherwise it would have like... It does kind of fit, I think. Yeah. Okay. Let's do somewhere in the UK. Man, this is just little black and white dots. So someone mentioned Manchester before Bristol came up. Slough, ugh. Slough's a hole. Norwich or Bright, South Shields. We've done Newcastle. South Shields is just the east of that, isn't it? Slough is just one. Doesn't it have? Isn't that like the world's largest trading estate or something? Like God, Slough's horrible. Southampton. Southampton is lovely. I really like Southampton. Whether how suitable it is, it'd be difficult in Southampton, I think. Some of the roads, it's a medieval city, so... Will these tracks you make me upload anywhere? I can. I wasn't planning to upload these ones. I mean, I did... I made a community post a few weeks ago where I did every F1 circuit in history I sent a Google Drive link that had all of those. Have you done your hometown? I did do my hometown in the last episode, Corsham, in Wiltshire. So yeah, we did that one in my last, in the last one, which it goes past my house actually as well. So Bristol is not gonna. Bristol's streets are all narrow and tiny, and yeah. Bath, again, I used to, because I grew up in Corsham, I've been to Bath God knows how many times in my life. Really, really narrow streets, but incredibly hilly city. Like some of the roads are so steep there. In good old Bath, as some people say. I was always one that said Bath. Although actually that avenue is the widest street in the city. My dad used to do the open top bus tours, so I've remembered all these facts about Bath. But somewhere bigger. Birmingham. We've done London already. Manchester is possible, or even Sheffield. Brighton. What's Brighton got? Bognor. Oh, Chichester. I used to live... Well, I did my bachelor's degree in Chichester. Brighton has... Oh, these streets are tiny. Brighton's not going to work. Well, I mean, theoretically, you could make that... The waterfront would be like the Pitt Strait. Get the Severn Bridge in. What? So we got a one. So we got what connecting? Yeah, what Caldecott to Bristol? Yeah, it would have to. Well, that would just be a square. We'd have to join up the junctions for the M4, and the M62. Is it the other one where they split and go all the way around? Whatever Wales capital is called, Cardiff. We did Cardiff in the first stream. So we got it there. Because again, I used to live in Cardiff. Edinburgh I've done. Yeah, Glasgow is a possibility. I guess I wouldn't mind giving Manchester a try, or Liverpool. Let's look at Manchester. Oh, this is a nightmare. Okay, so everything I thought was a wide road is a railway line. That's okay. So we've got motorway overpass or a. That's probably just an A road. The long place name. Oh, Llanfair Pinwillis Salio Gilgagoch. I think it's just called Llanfair on there on there on Google Earth. This is a tricky one. Again, it's all these really annoying slip roads. The long place name, that's on Anglesey, which again, it has its own little circuit there. Yeah, here it is. Llanfair Pwllgilgylch. So we got what is that? Can't be we got this dual carriageway that might play a role. Although if we go over the bridge to like Bangor, that extends things in a way that I didn't want. Although actually maybe you could just use both of those. Railway line. Otherwise, it's just tiny little residential streets. Let's try something with this, I guess. Yeah, okay, so we'll start up here on the slip road. Over the bridge. That's a railway line. Down the slip road, very narrow. And okay, this road is very narrow again. This is gonna, let's pretend this was a circuit from the 1950s when they didn't care about safety. Measurements. Okay. Ooh, narrow bridge, nice roundabout complex. Oh, God knows what's going on there. Back onto Anglesey, and 2.8 miles. No, we have to go into town. Another roundabout. It is interesting because you see the different streets and different designs of roads in all the countries you've been to. The British ones are just instantly recognisable. So many lanes, so many roundabouts, all the dotted lines of demarcation. Yep, another really annoying slip road to make use of. 4.54 miles. Yeah. Again, you could see that being done in the 50s. So I need... Okay, we need to give this the full name, so we need to search that. Clan... That's the one. Ugh. Okay, let me think. Llanfair pwylich gillian gilch go gerich chiwyn drobeich chientalia silio go goch, something like that. Blah 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 circuit. Yeah. Ooh, steep elevation change. Good. The bridge is nice. Classic. I'm guessing that's maybe one of Brunel's designs. Very pretty. Very 1950s. This could be the Llanfair blah 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 TT as their answer to the Isle of Man TT. I like how the bridge is under the bridge. Yeah, it's the 3D buildings thing is funny. For some reason, the pyramids are just floating in the air. And it just looks like when everyone says it was built by aliens, that it's just going to suddenly take off and start hovering one day because it's actually an alien spaceship. Yeah, TT thing that could be. Okay, let's see. Nearly 5:30. I won't do any more designs today, but we can go through everything, including all the old ones, and just go through quickly and see what we've done. So again, actually sort A to Z, not the folder. Put that at the bottom. So what we've done over the past 3 streams. So there is the Alan Shearer circuit sponsored by Greggs in Newcastle and Gateshead. Then there was the Altitude Sickness Park in La Paz, Bolivia, which seems to be one of the most popular designs, I think, for obvious reasons. It's got elements of Macau. And yeah, all the engines are going to be starved of power and probably overheat massively as well in the thin air. Then we did Brexit Speedway in London, which overlaps with the London circuit from Gran Turismo 5 and 6. Boatodrome in Helsinki, named after, of course, Kimi. Not the best design, really. Then there's the Cock Ring in Peniston. For some reason, it's censored, the top half. It just doesn't load up. It looks more like a route you go for a Sunday walk than a circuit. Coconut Circuit in Vanuatu, I think. One of the Pacific Islands. I've forgotten where exactly. I think it was Kiribati or Vanuatu or Tuvalu. We did that one. Then there's the Cucumber Ring. We did this one today in Delhi, which I quite like, actually. Aside from the length, it does look like something Formula E would do. Oh, no, wrong one. Then there was the Deep Fried Circuit sponsored by Iron Brew in Edinburgh. Again, this one, not very plausible, but Edinburgh's a really lovely city. Then the Dictatordrome, Pyongyang, way too long, way too fast, and never going to happen. The Didgeridrome in Canberra. Again, I was like, I just want everyone's left front tyres to explode as they have to go all the way around this. Extra neck training, lots of very wide, sustained corners, and then there's this extremely annoying hairpin section. Dodo International Circuit. That was my tribute to my DRS Train podcast co-host Nav in Port Louis, Mauritius. Apparently, I went through Chinatown or some really, really narrow, like, pedestrianised streets, so it would never work, but yeah. Empire Street Circuit of Mine, New York City. I mean, I think that slaps. Yeah. Broadway, Fifth Avenue, got all the words. Madison Square Gardens. Yeah, I think it's a good one. AF Yellow Yerkel circuit in Reykjavik, Iceland. Most of the highways, yeah, not brilliant. We did this one earlier on. Yeah. The Fast and the Furious in Berlin. Tiergarten all the way up to the Reichstag. Brandenburger Tor. Berlin Philharmonie. Yeah. Then Ferris Bueller's Race Day Off. This is the Chicago one. I'll leave it. I was thinking, should I redesign that one? Yeah, the not so good Chicago design. Then the Freedom Ring in Washington, D.C., which is a fun design, I think. Hey, Peter. Hello, Joe Baker. You're joining right at the tail end, I'm afraid. I'm just showing off all the ones that have been designed in the past few streams. Freedom Ring. Then here's the Go-Tifi Street Circuit in Quebec City with a really, really steep one. Yeah, no, I've been going for about 2.5 hours, but yeah. So we're just browsing now. The Guano Ring in Nauru, which is more of a rally course, and it looks like someone's eaten the Hungaroring and kind of spat it back out. The Gutter Ring in this was the one for speedboats that we tried to make. I was going to try and make an actual street circuit in Venice, and then I realized there are almost no actual streets. Like, I can't imagine the city's always been underwater. It's just ridiculous how they built that. The Haaland Ring in Oslo. No F1 drivers from Norway, so who's better than a footballer? The Honey Badger Street Circuit. This again is this is in Perth, and it's definitely one of the better designs. The Australian Australian circuits are all really good. The streets just lend themselves well to street circuits. Yeah, I like that one. Then the Jordan Grand Prix circuit in Dublin. It's okay, but yeah, we needed one in Dublin. How good can we first from Norway? He can. I mean, whether or not he actually makes it to Formula One, it remains to be seen, because he was average in Freca, then he shat all over everyone in Formula 3, and then he's just been kind of okay in Formula 2. But yeah, there's a massive queue of Formula 3 Red Bull Juniors, none of which look remotely anywhere near going to Formula 1 anytime soon. Even with, 4 seats available to them instead of 2 for all the other academies. The Lava Dome, maybe that was meant to be Lava Drome, in Pompeii. If you wanted to do chariot racing, he did get fired by Red Bull. Yes, yeah, he's one of the ones that left. Of course, because they've got like 15, 16 members. I should know. I did a video on it a couple of months ago. Then the Llanfair plus Gillian Llanfair plus Gwychen Gogerich Rhif Wirendro Bil Chili Tansilio Gogogoch circuit. Something like that. FIA Mafia circuit in Palermo on Sicily. Again, narrow, not bad. Yeah, it's all right. Mandela Port circuit, South Africa, Cape Town. Again, I think a reasonably good design. Fairly a good a name you would expect, I guess, from sounds like a street circuit. Marcos International Raceway in Manila. I quite like this one. That's a really annoying hairpin, but otherwise, I think there's potential. Can you go through mine afterwards? Yeah, I will do yours again afterwards. The Martin Luther Ring. Where is this one? Oh, this was Atlanta. Yeah. Again, not the best. Atlanta, Georgia. Pasty Park. I almost said Pasty. This is Davidstow, because someone was adamant to have one in Davidstow in Cornwall. Again, this can be like an old motorbike TT track, because apparently they use the airfield for circuits. The Peter Brooklands that goes through my hometown of Corsham in Wiltshire. with a few really annoying roundabouts, but otherwise is quite fast. It goes past all the MOD paces, goes past my house. Yeah. The Psy Ring, sponsored by BTS in Seoul, which it joins up to Seoul Central from Gran Turismo 4. Then the Radiation Ring in Pripyat. The design's good. It's just a shame about the location, to be honest. The Robert Schwartz Drome in Jerusalem that goes around the old city, which is in blue because it didn't show up so well in red because of the border. Yeah, this one's not a brilliant design, to be honest. The Sahara Ring, this might be the worst one. I just wanted one that goes around the pyramids, but it's terrible. It goes over some of the old tombs, actually, as well. Sato Speedway in Tokyo, going around the Imperial Palace. This one's nice, I think. Right next to Tokyo Route 246 from Gran Turismo. The Stitch Speedway in Honolulu. Looks like a fish. Looks like a whale shark, actually, more specifically. Stroll Speedway, which we just did in Toronto, which apparently overlaps with the IndyCar circuit, though I don't know where that one is. Sunderland, this was a fan submission. 10 miles long, way too long for F1. Peter, from your old in real life circuits, does it have the Galvez brothers circuit in Argentina? It does, yeah. We'll look at that in a second. I will not spend 5 hours showing every circuit again, but we can look at those a little bit. The Supermax Speedway. This was the first one we did today around Amsterdam. This is actually, upon reflection, this is absolutely terrible. Yeah, couldn't do that. The Surrender Speedway in Paris, part of Georges V Paris from Gran Turismo 4. This could work. The streets are wide enough, I think. The Tasmania Ring. It looks kind of garish, but I think this is actually quite cool. The way it uses the bridge, and it's a million hairpins, but it overlaps itself. That one's actually not bad. The Emperor's New Street Circuit. I think this one's good, again, in the Lima, Peru. Quite like that. The Unsinkable Circuit in Belfast, Northern Ireland, that goes right past the docks, or the dry dock that Titanic was, well, not built, but fitted out in. I think the slipway that it was actually built on, I think, was around here. The One Ring in Auckland, New Zealand. Again, I think that's actually not bad as a design. Then we did the Tom Price Circuit in Cardiff. Not a good design, but I just wanted one in Cardiff that goes past my old college where I did my master's degree. The Totally Not Slovakia Speedway in Slovenia, in Ljubljana. This is actually quite alright. The city's very pretty as well. Totally Not Slovenia Speedway in Slovakia, in Bratislava. Not so realistic. Can you do RAF Scunthorpe, England, as it's an old abandoned RAF base? How does that look? Scunthorpe is Yorkshire, isn't it? Pontefract, Rotherham, Sheffield, Doncaster, Scunthorpe. Okay, this must be on collieries. RAF Scunthorpe. I'm not seeing a airfield anywhere immediately around it. Norfolk. Is it in Norfolk? Is there a Scunthorpe in Norfolk? I didn't think they had. I thought it was just the one in Yorkshire. It's in Norfolk. Okay. Snetterton. Oh, there's Snetterton. Norwich. Lowestoft. Is that it? That's an airfield. Oh, there. Oh, Sculthorpe. Sorry. Yeah. Did you put? Oh, you put Scunthorpe. You typed Scunthorpe. Yeah. It's Sculthorpe. Yeah. This is something you could definitely make a circuit from. Obviously this is how most of the British ones got built. Is that they were usually just the perimeter road. of a airfield. Yeah, this is Looking at that's got old F1. That's got old Grand Prix circuit written all over it. Yeah, you can see how like Silverstone and Castle Coombe and places like that became circuits with the way they look. It almost has like a cartoon car with like tiny little wheels just there. I was just throwing something quickly there. They probably did. It wouldn't surprise me if there was some amateur racing done here, like maybe after the war, just like with Silverstone. "4.5 miles. Okay, well, it maybe wouldn't use the entire the entire perimeter, but yeah, I'll just call that Sculthorpe circuit. Sculthorpe circuit. It was an American base used in the Cold War. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it would be. I'm assuming it must have been used in the Second World War as well. Yeah, tiny little village, Sculthorpe. Oh, that looks inviting. Right. Only abandoned late 90s. Okay. Okay, let's look at Bois' circuits. So I did this at the beginning of the stream. He submitted these to me this week, his own design. So we'll just look at these again. There was the Alonso Autodrome in Madrid, which is right next to the Madrid circuit from Gran Turismo 5 and 6. I'm a little bit puzzled about what's going on here, because that's, yeah. I don't know if it meant to go that way and then around and down, because otherwise you're just going to get accidents. But the rest of it, yeah, it has obviously very reminiscent of the GT circuit. It's a tunnel. Oh, it is a tunnel. Oh, okay, that's fine then. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Otherwise, it was just a bit of a figure of eight. Tri-City circuit, Chicago, right near mine. This is a lot better. There's a lot more going on. It's not just 90-degree turns. Yeah, I think that's an improvement. Lots of roundabouts. Americans and well, I mean that's the closest thing you get to a roundabout in America. I don't know if that even is one properly. Then there was Couscous circuit in Dakar. No, Rabat, even Morocco. You know, again, looks like a deflated condom. Possible alternate to Ain Diab, which hosted the 1958 Moroccan Grand Prix. Dakar driveway in Senegal. Looks like a fish. Any teasers for your next video? The script I'm doing at the moment, I'm doing a driver transfer history video on Sauber. So that's what I'm working on. I'm just a bit funny about, I don't know what's going on with timings with it, because it's supposed to be getting sponsored, and that's affecting the running of production, because I don't know if they're going to give me a deadline that they want for it in that. But yeah. Then the Dhaka Ring in Bangladesh, which, yeah, I mean, it looks nice enough going around the water, but it's in what looks like the slums. So maybe not quite so attractive. Greg's Speedway, Newcastle. Quite funny, slightly funny shape. I guess Formula E would give it a go, but yeah. Again, right next to my one that I did. It's not Raid Shadow Legends, no. I don't think we'll be using them again. Gurbanguly Bermidumahamedo, who apparently is some dictator. Yeah, central, Mal Plaza area. Again, we've got a condom-shaped circuit. Extremely Formula E. Like, Formula E would just absolutely lap this up. The Kenya Coffee Way, Nairobi. This one's all right, I think. You've got the City Square and then you've got this slightly more technical section. I think that's pretty enough. Kim Jong-un's Motorland, which actually shares a lot in common with the Dictator Drome. Yeah, it's more realistic length, definitely, in a completely unrealistic location. The MAGA Motordrome in the Florida Keys. Fairly typical Formula E kind of design. Yeah. And then the second one, this is much bigger. Yeah, this one's not so... There's not so much going on there. What do I think about Lewis going to Ferrari? I was asked this at the beginning. Well, I guess I'm as surprised as everyone else. But yeah, he's been teasing. Well, he said several times he wants to drive for them. I'd forgotten that there were rumours in 2020 about him going there, which obviously went to nothing. Because why would they? Because that was when Mercedes were at their peak. But at this point, it's like, okay, well, Ferrari are basically equally as good as Mercedes. So it's like it's not moving up or down. It's just moving across and getting something different. Maldonado Motor Zone in Caracas. This one's not so good. This again, we've got some very tight hairpin. Oh, again, it goes under. Is that it's another tunnel? Okay, I was looking at that thinking, what the hell? We've got a tunnel, but then that's covering it. There's like 3 different layers of road in one place. Are you gonna do an 80s car ranking in the future? Yeah, those ones need to be done. It's a kind of a one a year thing of the iceberg, and then the driver and car ranking. And now that I've done the 90s cars, the next one will be the 80s drivers. But it's just finding windows to do each of those, because those videos, I know. I mean, yeah, people love them and they do really well, but my God, they take forever to make. It's like such a long time, such a huge amount of research and everything. Mickey Mouse Way, going around Disneyland or Disney World, Orlando. Yeah, just a bit of a silly one. Kind of fun design, but yeah. On go-karts, this would be hella fun. Muscat Motorland in Oman. Again, never say never to a circuit in Oman, since there's probably going to be one in every Middle Eastern country by the end of the decade. Yeah, this ain't bad. Very much Ain Diab, very 1950s. Niagara Falls Swimway. This one looks amazing. The problem is that you have to go right through customs and border checks, and you can't fit a Formula 1 car through there. Ignoring the issue of having to have your passport and, check the car to make sure you're not smuggling in, like, any drugs or fruit or whatever. But yeah, first international circuit. I love the concept, but unfortunately it's not realistic. Then the Revel Raceway in Wellington. Not bad design. I think my Auckland one's better, and Auckland is, I guess, a more obvious place. I think Wellington is a bit more industrious, a bit rougher than Auckland in New Zealand. Then the Riviera Raceway, not in the Italian Riviera, but the Cornish Riviera in Paignton and Torquay. Yeah. It looks like a 1930s circuit. The Taliban one in Afghanistan, again, I'm sure he could if he would. Stefano Domenicali make us go here. Maybe not. Yeah, this circuit, it could be worse, but just the traffic. Look at the road traffic. That is beyond horrendous. Do you know that the helmet of an F1 driver is one of the strongest things? I know that they can. Well, I know they can survive being run over by a tank, and that they're pretty impenetrable. The current spec they've had 2019, they put in like smaller visors and extra strength. They are insanely strong. Obviously not impenetrable, but they can survive most things. Then we have the circuit of the Chavs in Chatham. Yeah, it's okay, this one. And then the Tinsel Drome in Los Angeles. I like, again, the figure of 8 thing is cool. And again, being at the foothills of Hollywood, it looks kind of cool. Yeah, it does. It has a vague, kind of vaguely, excuse me, vaguely IndyCar feel, I guess. But yeah. Southampton. Okay, yeah. Right, let's do one more then, and then I will stop doing them. Southampton. What can we do in Southampton? Okay, that's wide. There's trees, open park bits. Okay, this looks like a paddock. So we're going to start here. A go-kart track around the Caterham factory. People, yeah. I love that no one has taken it up as a base. It's just, and it hasn't been claimed by anything. There's perfectly good F1 factory that's been used by 3 different teams now, and it's just sat there, and like you can just go and explore around it. Okay, there's a roundabout, so we're going to make use of that. Up and across. Up here into, okay, those are some bollards. They'll need to be taken down to go into wherever this is. Oh, those are steps. Oh, we've gone into a dead end. This is like the old medieval walls. Maybe not quite that way. We'll go a little slightly different direction. And then oh god, it goes miles away, that road. Yep, up, around, across. What is going, is that a tunnel or is that going just, yep, that's a tunnel. Where does it come out? I don't think it does come out. I think that's a multi-story car park, an underground car park. Oh, goodness sake. Okay. Up. Only a mile long. Not too bad. Let's go right here. Down we go. All the way down. Through the gates into the medieval part of the city. And down there. That's pedestrianised. So is that, but they can just unpedestrianise it for this. 2.1. Yeah. That's something. I heard a holiday company has bought it and are demolishing everything except the front part of the factory. Oh, that's a shame. They could, thing is, they should, I mean, obviously now as we've seen, Andretti apparently are not getting on the grid anytime soon. Like any new team, it would be a perfectly good base for them. It just needs a bit of TLC and restoration. But no, now they have to just destroy it. Yeah, this will work. I guess this works. There are loads of options you can make with Southampton. I was trying to use the bigger roads. So a Southampton thing. Well, I know it's called Pompey for some reason. Even though when I was at Chichester, I used to think Pompey was Portsmouth. Titanic took off, not on plane. It began its maiden voyage from Southampton. So that's a thing that's from Southampton. White Star Line, I think they were based in Southampton. That's why all this. Yeah, that's probably why. The name of Circuit the Saints. What else has Southampton got? Other than White Star Line, and it has a football team. You could ask one of the people who were lucky enough to explore and record it if you could use their footage and get some photos and explain what some of the rooms used to do. If I was, I mean, I've used some footage in one of my oldest videos when about the history of Caterham when the team folded. If I was going to do a video like that, I would probably just go there myself and film it, because loads of people have done that. But yeah, that's an idea, because I want to try and do not just be stuck in the flat. I want to do videos sort of out on the road. In the future, that's one I could actually try. Although, to be honest, I would need to make sure that I'm not actually going to get in trouble for trespassing. I don't know if it's one of those places where you could get in trouble for being there or not. How are the people working at the cruise terminal, Hope? I guess it's a little bit detached from the terminal, because it goes all the way down there. Where's the train station relative to this? Oh, it's all the way up there. Oh, it's big. Everything's bigger than I thought. Yeah, I've got my scale backwards. I used to pass through Southampton on the train all the time. Do you take random requests or just have presets? No, I take requests, although this is right at the end of the stream, so this is the last one I'm going to do today. I'll just call it White Star Circuit. I don't know. I reckon you need to remaster or make those videos up to date. Yeah, so obviously, because I did the HRT video and I just condensed things down, and that video's doing really well, when before none of them did that well. So I'm thinking, from when it comes to team history things, I think I should just go forwards without doing like the excruciating detail of every race. And that just slows down the production, the video making process so much, because I have to rewatch every race then and go through all the lap charts. So I can definitely redo that for like Virgin and Lotus, the same kind of format as the HRT one, and probably the same thing with like Pacific and Simtech and those ones as well. But yeah, as that's done well, it's like, yeah, there's obviously room to do ones like that more ones like that at some point. Okay, that's all of those. Okay, let's have a look at some real circuits, because I did add some more, and yeah. Someone mentioned Brooklands a second ago. Yeah. So I've got Brooklands down. It has obviously I think it was 1939 this got shut down. So it's the world's oldest purpose-built racing circuit, although it hasn't been used for over 80 years now. But I think the oldest purpose-built circuit still in use is Monza, which is just over 100 years old. But Brooklands, yeah, I mean, it's part of like the banking. Most of the banking there is still there, and all the way around here. So a reasonably large part of it is actually still exists. Because I remember, James May did one of his Toy Story documentary things where he made a train set that went all the way around the original circuit, and it had to go through housing estates and ford like a river. But yeah, so they built this, whatever that is, and then this modern building, and then this is a housing estate. So that's the complications. I think this bit used to be the pit lane or an alternate start finish line. Not Indy. Is it 1909? Maybe it's Indy. I always thought it was Brooklands. Maybe Brooklands was built before 1909. I don't. Yeah, maybe it is. You could do a live stream of editing and modifying tracks. Actually, yeah, maybe that is an option. I mean, because Tomo does his whole, improving liveries. Maybe I could find a way of improving circuits. Yeah. So, what else was new that I put in? Oh, yeah, I was doing the Formula E ones. So there's the Battersea Park Formula E circuit, which they don't use anymore. I mean, that is such a dull layout. And that was where we saw the title. I remember watching PK win the title there in 2015. I didn't go to the race, but watching it on TV. I was doing the Formula E tracks and I gave up because I was like, these are just so fucking boring. Like, they're just not good. Igora Drive. Is that the one in Spain? Igora Drive. Because I did. I added the one because I was adding the ones from Gran Turismo. The one down here. The not. I didn't know this was a real track. I put this one in. I just remember trying to drive the Veyron around this and it just refusing to stay on track ever. It was Skay Electrics. Oh yeah, Skay Electrics at Brooklands, not trains. Yeah, but yeah, I loved that documentary. No, he did trains when he tried to. There was an abandoned railway line in Devon that he did using model trains instead. I love that stuff. I love James May's work. So I added that. I think I put a few things out in the States. Let's think. There was that abandoned oval, which people got me to do in the last stream. I mean, it looks a bit. They said it was only a few years ago. I think it was actually about 20 years ago. This was abandoned, which is kind of why it looks so overgrown. I've seen the pictures. Like, there's like a panoramic shot. It was quite substantial, like really big paddock and big grandstands. It was quite a well built out venue, and this is where Mario Andretti is supposed to have basically started his early racing career. Is it Trenton? No, this is what is it called? Nazareth. Yeah, the one in and that's basically where Mario Andretti started out. What else did I throw in? Bath. There's a Bath in. They keep Northampton. They're just stealing our names. All the places in America. There's a bunch of places in Pennsylvania that have Welsh names. Let me think. What else did I add? I think, Miami had some garbage Formula E circuit. There's obviously the one that we don't need anymore. Miami Grand Prix. With Vegas, there's no need to go here anymore. This was the Formula E circuit. Again, it sucks. Like, never enjoyed. None of the Formula E circuits are any good. Monaco is good because it's Monaco, but the rest of them were just not remotely interesting. I added Montevideo. No, not Montevideo. Puente del Este. New London, yeah, there's a new everything. Well, there's Paris, Texas. Isn't that a place? Yeah, this was a Formula E track. I think it was used for other stuff, but again, it's not. It's like a sperm. I mean, the roads are so obviously like racetrack roads. I mean, it's still got the lanes mixed, the markers in for the chicanes and that. Did you plot the abandoned circuit in Hawaii? No, I didn't. I couldn't really tell. I could sort of see where it was, but couldn't really tell. Then we did. I mentioned before Buenos Aires. Oh yeah, because Akis, you'd mentioned. Yeah, so I've got the Oscar Alfredo Galvez circuit that was the Argentine Grand Prix. That's got like a million different layouts. So that one's been marked in for a while. They kept it fresh, I guess, because we had this big layout, and then they would sometimes do the little one that had all of that going on. It's a funny little circuit. Yeah. You could all go in GTA director mode and create tracks in GTA. Didn't know you could do that. I mean, I have GTA. I don't play it very often, but that's cool. I didn't know you could make circuits in GTA. But yeah, outside of there, again, another Formula E circuit. Like, what is that? That's just not anything. They're also short. They're all like less than a mile and a half long as well. Let's see. I did those. I think there's one in Hyderabad. Has one which I think they still use. Where's Hyderabad? Where is Hyderabad? I wish I could remember where Hyderabad is. India. Okay, yeah, much further south. Yeah, this it's a little bit more interesting, I guess, than most of the other ones, but yeah. I think isn't this one? Didn't they axe the race got cancelled this year, like at the last minute. I mean, I haven't been watching because now nobody can watch Formula E because they decided to put it behind a paywall or whatever. Yeah, Bud. Obviously, everyone loves Bud. I wish that would come back. I just love how wide it is. I mean, turn 4, that is insanely wide. Like, so good for overtaking. We need more of that. And this sort of semi-banked thing they had going on here. Oh. Oh, Hong Kong. Didn't I show that before? The Hong Kong. Yeah. So GT4 circuit and then the Hong Kong. Again, really not good, is it? The Formula E circuits, they're just so uninspired. I feel like I could take it more seriously if they race on actual tracks. But just over that, then we got, yeah, Macau obviously is brilliant. Oh, I know what I should do. Because I showed this off. Well, I showed every circuit that I have off in the last stream. Was Isle of Man, the TT, 37 miles long. If I just put that on play, and you can see how hilly it is, it kind of looks nothing like the other ones. I'll see you later, Peter. Okay, nice to see you, bro. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, thanks for the circuits as well. Yeah, the TT. If I just this will take a few minutes, just so you can. I had years ago. I was given a DVD about the Isle of Man TT that I still haven't watched because I know nothing about it except they use motorbikes and like someone dies every year basically. I can't believe they're still allowed to do it just because of how dangerous it is, and how many people have died in the past like 100 years. Yeah. I don't know what they do in terms of putting barriers up and everything, because it goes through all of these villages and just right past people's house, and I guess they're content with having one weekend a year where all basically the main loop, the main ring road around the entire island gets closed off. Maybe they just accept it as part of living there, where they don't have to like pay income tax and stuff. Speaking before about Argentina, your opinion about Franco Colapinto, who happens to be one of the future Poulons or Wonder Kids. Well, he's the person I think who's in the main position to take over from Logan Sargent. He's the most senior junior in Williams. Him and Zach O'Sullivan are moving up to Formula 2. I could definitely see him in a Williams in 2025 in place of Logan Sargent. But then we're hearing musings that apparently Albon's been offered a 3-year contract back at Red Bull. I really don't think Albon would go back, to be honest. I think for the time being, he may as well stay at Williams. I mean, he's a potential successor to Hamilton at Mercedes. But yeah, Colapinto, he'll be in. I think soon enough he'll get a seat with Williams. This bit's cool. I mean, very high speed. I'm assuming there is a game somewhere where you can drive this that has it, because like I liked that, because I used to play Colin McRae Dirt a lot, because that has the Pikes Peak Hill Climb, and that was always fun. Like, it would be cool if they let cars do this, although I can't imagine many of them would dare try it. Have you been to the Isle of Man? I have not been to the Isle of Man. It's not somewhere I've ever really given much of a thought to in the past. I went, as you can see in the folder on the left, I just started adding stuff after I noted, I thought I haven't plotted the TT track, and I was like, I'll do that, and then I'll plot every railway they've had, and then I found out about the Douglas circuit that was used in non-championship races in the 50s. But Douglas itself is Isle of Man, I think it is fairly nice place to live. People, there's no income tax and everything. It's like living in the Channel Islands. I know that Mansell, maybe, I don't know if he still does live there, but he definitely used to live there when he was racing. What's his face? There's that cyclist that's from the Isle of Man as well. It's one of these places that's like not really a country, because I don't think you're not a British citizen, but I think you still get citizenship, like a British passport. It's weird how it works in the Isle of Man. If you have a lot of money, it's probably somewhere that's really good to retire to. If you can buy a good cottage and just go for like walks up in the hills and stuff like that, it's probably really nice. And get away from the hustle and bustle of all the cities and that. You doing anything 30k subs? I'll do a stream for that. We haven't done a tier list for a long time, so I'll do a tier list. I haven't decided what yet. It'll be 2000s, because I need to do liveries and also cars, and I think I've done drivers. So either 2000s cars or 2000s liveries tier list. But that's coming up in a couple of weeks, because I'm on 29,500 and something. So yeah, I give it 2 weeks or so and I'll hit 30,000. Do you think Stroll will go to Aston Martin Weck for freeing up a seat for Drugovich or Tsunoda? Maybe. I mean, people are always kind of questioning about how linked he is to his dad, as in if he goes, will his dad go as well? But I feel like his dad is way too invested to make it just about finding a seat for his son. So if he wanted to go, I don't think his dad would stop him, and he wouldn't. I don't think he would then sell Aston Martin. But Stroll, I think he should, just so we get him out of Formula One, because he shouldn't be here anymore. And yeah, he can go and stat pad in a car he's going to share with 3 other people or whatever. Oh, this bit's very remote. It's like being up in the Scottish Highlands. Yeah, this is somewhere you would not want to crash in the TTs. You're just nowhere near anything. Although it's probably actually the safest part of the circuit, of the track, because it's nowhere near anything. Oh my gosh, literally the same opinion I've had forever. Get Stroll out, he doesn't belong anymore. Well, yeah, he just doesn't. He's just... People always say, oh, but every so often he's good. It's like, yeah, every so often, not all the time. They'll always say, oh, he got that podium in Baku and then he got pole in Istanbul. It's like, yeah, he does that once every 2 or 3 years, and then everyone's like, great, let's keep him. But the rest of the time, he's just so desperately uninspired. He just doesn't look like he cares at all either. And he's just not doing anything remotely interesting. It's the same way that like Haas are a waste of space, because they're not even an American team and they're just not interesting at all. But we can't have... Apparently Andretti don't add any value. Who do you think will get the Merc seat? Bottas actually kind of looks plausible, because he was in... I can't think of any other reason he'd be in Brackley when he was a few days ago playing darts in a pub. Because he doesn't live... He lives in Monaco, and obviously he drives for Sauber in Switzerland, so what reason would he have to be in the UK? I'm guessing Toto has been contacted by a lot of people, obviously making their case. Some people said Alonso might go there. There's even been talks of Vettel coming out of retirement. And like... to go to Mercedes, and it's like, well, maybe. I mean, Vettel, obviously, he's hinted at coming back. Whether he do it with Mercedes, I don't know. But it's not. I mean, it's highly unlikely that it would go to Antonelli unless he absolutely annihilates everyone in Formula 2. Paul Aaron's left Mercedes. Vesti is mid. Well, he's going into IMSA, isn't he? Or WEC Vesti, so he's not doing Formula 1. Yeah, it's a tricky one. What's going to happen to that seat now? But as it stands, Bottas seems the most plausible, because that frees up a seat at Sauber for Sainz. And then I guess the second one, God forbid, it stays with Joe, unless they do get rid of him and then bring in Pourchaire, or even Behrman, because they still use Ferrari engines, but it's looking like Behrman, he's got 6 FP1 sessions, so I guess he's going to he's probably going to be going to Haas in 25, I'd have thought, to prep him that much. And then Hulkenberg could go somewhere better. People keep saying that Hulkenberg might go to Red Bull. Other than to just finally give him a podium, I don't see why they would do that. Magnussen just needs to go. He needs to go back to IMSA. I don't know. Yeah. It's really thrown things into chaos when we thought everything was just set and sorted. Also, isn't it funny how Hamilton is in a similar path as Schumacher? One team for a few where he smashes then a top tier team for many years and then going to a top tier team. Yeah, Hamilton is, yeah. If Ferrari nail the regs in 26, then you can basically just say, well, he's the luckiest driver ever, because he's always managed to find his way into the best cars in one way or another. It's just, I was all day before the announcement was made, I was thinking, I know it's Ferrari, but Lewis is not going to accept being the second driver to Leclerc. That is Leclerc's team. Leclerc is always he's the chosen one. He's their golden boy. Hamilton is not going to... Well, the thing is, he's not going to be able to come in and usurp him, because, again, Leclerc's not going to want that. And they always favour one driver over the other. It's a strange move when you start thinking about it more and more. Yeah. You reckon Mick has a chance for that seat? I doubt it with Mercedes. That's really not a good lineup. Williams keeps snuffing him off, but Toto is desperate to put him in there. I really, really don't think they would give him, because now he's doing WEC, isn't he? So he might just stay with that. I think Mick's time is done, or maybe he just needs to not be around Gunter or something. But yeah, okay. It's 6:15. I'm going to leave it there because I'm going for 3 hours. I'm just getting drowsy. So yeah, probably do this again next weekend, or unless I suddenly get a sudden burst of subscribers, it'll be the other one. It'll be the tier list. That has to happen soon. And yeah, just working on plodding away on getting this new one out. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Usual again, check out DRS Train Podcast. We're always active with episodes. We put one out about Andretti, and the news broke that they got denied while we were doing it. But then Hamilton happened the next day, which made that episode irrelevant. But check that one out. We're always getting other guests on, so yeah. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and have a good weekend. I'll see you all around.